We are live. All right. Hopefully everything's here. Lil, a full cast of 16. Someone there likes video games. Oh boy. We're here. It's time. It is time. What's up, Liv? Hey. We're Canadian. Took them long enough. I don't know why everyone was freaking out. I mean, it was around this time last year that they dropped the cast. This isn't Big Brother US. This is Big Brother Canada. We're just gonna wait for people to trickle in here. But it's a party. Join us. Join us. They've even got like little superhero gifs on Twitter for each cast member here. What's up, the heart? Hey, Bambi. You're binging Big Brother Canada 7. It's weird to pause an LFC roundtable to watch my stream right now. I can see why that might be weird. Taran from the past and Taran from the future. Oh man. Which one of us is better? I don't know. It's always hard to tell. All right. Past, future. It's all robot. Doesn't matter. Have we figured out the draft yet? No, we have not. That's a good point, though. We should. I thought we were going to do that today, and then it didn't happen. All right. Got a nice list of people here. Coming to you from Canada. From Canada. There are people listed as super single. It just means that they're single and super. It's just combining the two things because they're superheroes. The site is not working. Yeah, I'm not getting the site to give me the cast stuff. I just see the tweet so far. I assume that the site will be updated at some point. We've also got the ET Canada interviews on YouTube are coming up here. You did get the site up? There it is. All right. Let me just grab this here. Boop. Boop. All right. We can make this a little bigger, I think. Okay. Actually, let's put this on this side. No, never mind this side. All right, here's our cast right here. Zen, thank you for the subscription there. I apologize. The notifications are not up here. Let's just get that in quickly. Thank you, Zen, for the 7th month. The year starts. Yes. All right. I gotta be over here. All right, I'm gonna make this a little smaller again. Declares for the 2nd month. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. All right. Let's get into some of these people here. Let me also catch up with the chat. Mitch, thank you for the 17th month. You guys are amazing. Excited for the live feed updates. You need that consistency back in your life. It's good. You haven't watched a full season since Big Brother Canada 3. It's time. You went to high school with Vanessa. Interesting. Vanessa right here. Brooke looks cute, says Ella. Why is there a Canada Votes in the front page of the website already? I mean, are you that surprised? Really? I don't know. I'm not very surprised. If I'm being honest. Daquan! For the 21st month, it's almost been 2 years. Yes, it has. Daquan, a robot captain, tier 3 sub in our army. A true leader of men and women and robots and everything else as well. Damien gets to go to the Leon Roof Lounge again this year. We have a hype train. Oh boy. Nicarillo for the 6th month. Thank you. Thank you so much. Not sure when we're doing the draft quite yet. All right, let's get into the cast here. Let's start with up here at the top left, Christopher, Chris, Willie. Willie, Wiley, Willie, Willie. Christopher's highlights. Nothing. Where? Hold on. Am I missing something here? That's a proper bio right there. Here we go. get to know Chris Willie. Chris. All right, he's 28. Really, they've got the zodiac here. Interesting. I guess for those that want to know. Hold on, let me move the chat over. If I can. I forget how to do that. All right, whatever. All right. He's a Cancer. He does have an interesting jacket. He's from Markham, Ontario. He's a brain transformation specialist. Excuse me? He's single. Strategy going into the house. A combination of winning competitions and socially influencing as many people as possible. I want to be a source of stability, comfort, and trust for house guests who may be a little on edge, uncomfortable, or are floaters. I'll be subtle in my approach and not bring too much attention to myself. Thank you, Lisa, for the subscription with Twitch Prime. I swear if any of these guys say they're going to make an all-male alliance, we'll see. Okay. So that's pretty basic. Why do you think you were selected to be on Big Brother Canada 8? I think there's some intrigue with me. Firstly, there's my physical size, which is pretty obvious by looking at me. Secondly, if you look a little bit deeper, I'm not just this guy who works out. I have a brain, and that's what I do for a living as a brain transformation specialist. I don't know. Usually when people have to say that, again, like hey, I'm not just wonderfully good looking and muscular and work out. I'm also really smart. I just want to say that too. And here's my evidence. I have a brain, and you know that because I'm a brain transformation specialist. Can we just do a quick look up here? What is a brain transformation specialist? I'm getting nothing here. We gotta put quotes. Wow. First two results here. Brain transformations. All of these results come up Chris Wiley. He is the results for brain. He made this up. He 100% made this up. Hold on, we gotta watch just a second of this here.
NLP is one of the easiest, fastest ways to change your brainwaves.
Oh my God, he's a con artist.
You'll be able to see that we can use neuro-linguistic programming to be able to do some really powerful things, be able to change beliefs, be able to change habits, to build new motivation processes, to get rid of phobias.
My anxiety, I used to call it the EBGBs, and after I worked with Chris here just for maybe 10 minutes, it is doable now. I find that, you know what?
We're the third view on this video.
Now, this is the land of neuro-linguistic programming and neuroplasticity. How can we take someone's resources within the individual, the things that they do well and they're motivated to do, how can we access those neural pathways and those abilities, and how can we aim those into other areas?
So before, when it came to learning something new, I always had this anxiety well up inside my body.
Oh my God, this. Yeah, this was this was uploaded yesterday. Clearly timed for the release of this cast. Calling himself a brain transformation specialist.
Hi, I'm Chris Wiley, the Game Changer, and I'd like to welcome you
Game Changer.
to the Game Changer NLP Practitioner Training. And let me tell you, this training is unlike anything out there. We're going to teach you, number one, how your brain works, but more importantly, how to do things like never before, like get rid of limiting beliefs, change decisions and habits like that, build new motivation, increase learning, increase your memory, increase your focus, increase everything in your life that is important to you, your clients, and your children. Because let's face it, it can be devastating to watch our children, our clients, our friends and family, the people we care about.
Hey guys, do you have bad things in your life?
Being able to do
I can make
anything
them
about
all
it.
better.
And that's what this course is about, so that you can do something about it. So that way you can learn, number one, how problems actually work, because they have structure that you can learn and you can use to make changes that will stay with people for the rest of their life. So if you want to learn about the brain, and not only that, have a lot of fun and perhaps the best time ever, then you want to come, sign up, join an amazing community of people who are all here working together to build the best brain, the best life possible. We'll teach you skills.
Come on,
like
let us build a brain together. We must do this.
Lots of theoretical knowledge. In this course, we'll teach you how to do things, how to make positive changes in your kids, your clients, in the places where it matters.
He literally just said, this course will teach you how to do things.
Most. Now, what got me so incredibly interested in NLP and neuroplasticity was that I, like you, was suffering from anxiety. I, in fact, had panic attacks, addictions. I was hospitalized, 30 pounds underweight, until I reached that point where I was just fed up with my problems, and I wanted to do.
Why is he dressed like a magician?
How to optimize my brain, and I found my way here: neuroscience, neuroplasticity, and neuro-linguistic programming, which has been for me the.
Okay. NLP. Wow, right away. NLP is a pseudoscientific approach. Oh boy. Well. I mean, right away. First cast member we looked at. We haven't even gotten through his full bio. I applaud you, Robin Cass. I applaud you, Big Brother Canada. I don't know how you convinced this guy to go on your show, but congratulations. That was a good call. That was a good call right there. All right. This will be interesting. It does remind me a little bit of when we saw Anthony at first. We were like, this guy, and then it worked. So maybe this guy will go on the show and he'll be, working the cast, and they'll be holding out their hand, and he'll be like, and they'll be, I'm gonna vote the way you want. You just convinced me. We'll find out. We'll find out. I need to and it is not no muscle memory for typing that 8 after BB can. All right, let's continue. What do you think will be the hardest for you? I'm going to enter the house with a Spartan attitude. I'm ready for anything that Big Brother Canada throws at me. However, being removed from society, locked in a house, and not being the architect of everything I do is definitely going to be a lifestyle change and a challenge. Okay. How do you want people to remember you as a player on Big Brother Canada? A big competitor, but more importantly, somebody who's passionate and connects with house guests and someone that viewers can get behind. I mean, this guy is looking to build his cult? You might call it? I'm not sure. So I guess, honestly, if he does well in Big Brother, that's probably a good start to building a cult. Like if Anthony tomorrow was like, hey guys, I've got this great cult I want to start, I feel like he'd have a leg to stand on, right? So, get Brent on. I don't know, is Brent around? He's not in the chat, is he? I let me know if there's anybody that pops up in the chat. I'm willing to chat with whoever. All right. He looks like a supervillain in his thing. He doesn't look like super. He's blue. Brent said yes. All right, one sec. Okay. So as we wait for Brent, we'll continue along here. If he wins Big Brother Canada, he wants to start a charity for autistic children and a center for children with learning disorders. Well, that's nice. Not what I would expect him to do with the money. But if it's true, that's nice. Not that it's honestly that much money, considering. But and that's the thing when people are like, oh, I'm going to use the money to help people. They usually mean like, I'll chuck him a couple thousand out of my 100. Biggest pet peeve is pompous people. Biggest fear is not fulfilling my talents. Hold on. Just right away. Like, my biggest pet peeve is pompous people. My biggest fear is not fulfilling my talents, gifts, and purpose. Typical Sunday. Work, train, eat. Touch Armor Class. Thank you for the 6 months. 6 months of pure awesomeness. Thank you. I geek out on neuroscience journals. Most spontaneous thing I've done is stopped my life entirely to go on Big Brother Canada. If you could only eat one thing, it would be, I need my protein, steak or salmon. A fact about you that surprises people is that he's a massive geek. Hey guys, I know, look at me. This is very surprising, but I'm actually a geek. All right. Get along best with people who are passionate and dedicated to some form of craft. It's fair. Most used emoji is the heart eyes. It's probably a bad sign, to be frank. Idol or hero is my personal mentor, Dr. Richard Bandler, but also Bruce Lee and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. My mantra is do it now. Personal accomplishment most proud of, conquering lifelong anxiety and panic attacks and fundamentally changing how I work and operate. I assume that ties in with his overall pitch here for his cult. Rapid fire, hero or villain? He's a hero, he says. Says competition beast or floater? Competition beast. First HOH or first nominee, first HOH. No sleep or no food, no sleep. Intellectual skills or physical strength, intellectual skills. Backstab or stay true to your word, stay true to your word. Gut instinct or pure intellect, pure intellect. Showmance or nomance, showmance. So this is a guy that really feels like, I'm a smart guy. I'm all about the brains. He sees himself as a hero. He does not see himself as particularly duplicitous. I think that might be a big difference between him and Anthony, where Anthony was a lot more upfront about like, yeah, look, I'm going to do what I got to do. This guy definitely seems like a bit of a con artist to some degree. But he's the kind of con artist that does not like to say that he's a con artist. He feels, no, I have a noble calling and I'm helping people. And therefore will probably be averse to openly playing the villain, as Anthony was able to do. So I'm not sure the Anthony comparison is correct here. I'm not loving it so far. I can't say I'm loving it. Okay. All right, so that was Chris. When Brent comes on, we'll inform Brent about Chris. Next, oh, here we go. Minli Nguyen Cow. Does anybody? I assume this is Chinese. Just win. Vietnamese. I saw Chinese earlier. Love to hear my thoughts on each of the following house guests and whether or not they'd fall for Chris's con. Sir James, thank you for the 4 months. So it's Just Win. I know a new one. Doctor, yeah. That's fine though. How'd I do otherwise? It also is new. Okay. Let me just.
Welcome to ET Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're going on Big Brother Canada.
Yeah.
What made you want to go on Big Brother Canada?
We're not going to say her name.
What made me want to go on Big Brother Canada? It was totally by fluke.
Hey.
I was scrolling.
We've got Brent. Let me try and bring him up on the screen here. There he is. I'm going to make you kind of small. Because we've got competing. Oh, he just left. Okay. I think he couldn't see me. And so he left.
Hey, you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you won't be able to see me in the Hangout.
Oh, okay, cool. So what do I want to do? So, give me 1 sec. Sorry.
It's all right.
Let's see. This is not the right camera. That's the right camera. Okay, that should be better.
All right. Have you seen the cast yet? Have you been looking?
I've seen the cast, but I haven't been able to absorb anything. Like, I just know that there's a ton more people of color than BBUS ever would have given us. So I'm already on board.
Well, the first person we looked at right away was Chris Wiley. if you like open up the Twitch stream, you'll be able to see at least a slightly delayed version of what I'm showing.
Okay, cool. Are we live right now, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't want to say anything.
So this is Chris. He's the big bearded guy.
Okay, cool.
Or at least a big bearded guy. But what struck me right away, he calls himself a brain transformation specialist.
All right.
So I was like, what is that? And so I Googled it, and there were no results. I was like, okay, this is weird. So I put quotation marks around it, to get the exact phrase.
Right.
And his name came up for every result.
I just knew that's where this was going. Yeah. Okay.
And so there are 2 YouTube videos that have been uploaded in the yesterday on his channel that talk about this course or something along those lines.
Okay.
Train with Chris Wiley, learn more, NLP practitioner. And he's like doing weird things with people's arms, and he's like, I'm gonna fix your problems, your anxieties, you're gonna be more confident, you're gonna sleep better, all of this crazy stuff. And then I looked up what is NLP, and the Wikipedia entry right away says it's a pseudoscientific approach to communication, personal development, and psychotherapy, created by Richard Bandler. That's the guy he said he was his hero, actually.
Okay, so he's
so
very into this.
Yes, so this guy is like full on into like this idea of like pseudoscientific sort of like, I am going to solve your problems, and the videos are pretty crazy. Unfortunately, you can't hear through my I can't like push the audio to you. Okay. But if you look this up, if you look up Chris Wiley on YouTube, you can check out some of the videos. It's pretty nuts.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm thinking thumbs up because he seems crazy as fuck.
Yes, that was I was like, I applaud you. This is fantastic. I can't wait to see this guy attempt to be this like very intellectual sort of what was interesting to me is that like at first it kind of reminded me of Anthony when Anthony came in. He was like so overconfident, and like we were like, oh come on, this guy. But then it worked. But this guy does not seem much like an Anthony to me, because he says he's a hero. He says, I'm not a backstabber, I'm gonna stick to my word. Like, he's the kind of sort of con artist that is like, no, I'm a great guy, I'm here to help. I don't think he's going to embrace the villain role like Anthony did, even if he was successful. But I'm very interested to see what happens here.
I am too. This is so weird. I've never done something like this before, where I literally just like 5 minutes before I came on with you, I looked at the cast, I like glanced at it, I was able to tweet one thing out, and I literally don't know anything else. I was like, do I know any of these people? Are there any patrons on? Like, how many people of color are there? How balanced is the cast? How old is the cast? So yeah, I'm just trying to absorb everything right now. what can I ask? Like, what jumps out at you as insofar as seeing this cast right away?
I mean, I haven't really looked at all of them. I've been going individually. Just looking at at the photos.
BB Canada also tweeted out some information too, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I do see. It does look like a pretty diverse cast, especially if you compare it to the U.S. But that's pretty expected of Big Brother Canada at this point, to be honest. So good on that.
Yeah, I feel like they maybe it's just me. Maybe the audience can tell me if I'm wrong, but like I feel like they went out of their way to really give us a more diverse cast than normal. Like, it does not feel like there's like 3 or 4 slots. Like, there's 5 or 6 slots. Like, it's actually like a real diversity cast. Like, that doesn't make sense, but a real diverse cast.
Yeah, and like actually like it, not just like oh, we have a bunch of like black people on the cast. It's like a wide variety of diversity here.
Yes.
Diversity.
I know, right? I do the same thing. Yeah.
Dippin' Dots, thank you for the cheer there. Dippin' Dots says any day is a good day when we have Brent. And an anonymous gifter gave Puya a tier 1 sub. Puya, are you around?
Puya, you can come on with us.
Yeah, if you want to hop on.
This is not the Brent and Taran show, honey.
This is a party. We're having a party. It's the cast party. All right, so I was gonna move on to Minley. Either Win or Nguyen Cow. I do not know how to pronounce.
I'm guessing it's Nguyen.
I thought it was Nguyen as well, but then they told me it might be Win, so I was going to listen to this video and see if she said her name. But
and it was like, should I apply for?
She did not. She might say it on the. Let me just.
Is that the one with Aika? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try to work some VPN magic if I can. Do you wanna read some of what was her first name?
I don't know. Let me see.
Minley. Do you want to read some of her bio if you can?
Yeah. Let me find it. Where's it at?
On the website.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could just go there. I thought. Okay, I retweeted something. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Because they made it really easy. Big Brother Canada at Big Brother Canada at Big Brother CA on Twitter tweeted all of their bios.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just looking at that. It's Minley Nguyen Cow. I'm guessing that's how you say it.
That's what I thought.
She says she's a villain. Oh, by the way, I actually like. Okay, you guys are gonna think I'm stupid, right? But like when I saw like the HOH room, I instantly thought like Fortress of Solitude is very like Superman-ish. But I'm like, they wouldn't do that, okay? And I didn't really look at the other pictures very much. And I heard people say, oh, it's very Superman or superhero-esque, but it looks like that's the theme they're going for, and I am so here for that. Like, I love the fact that it's apparently a superhero theme. Because they are asking all of the cast whether or not they're a hero or villain. They have like their little BB Comics pictures of them already on Twitter, ready to go. And like I just think that works so well in a season like this. How many people are in the cast, and has there been anything released about what they meant about supersize, Taran?
Well, there are 16 people in the cast, which I believe is the largest number they've started with at the very least. But I haven't seen much else.
They haven't released much else then. Okay.
But like I said, I have been focusing on the cast so far. So
okay, someone who is this?
Let me see. I think
says the supersize season means 2 extra weeks. They confirmed.
Okay, there you go. Yes.
Have they said anything about the first week or anything like that? Have they like the HOH rules? Are they different as far as like the veto and all that? Like,
so there is let's see, homepage here. It says Canada votes, save your superhero. Select which of the 16 house guests you would like to protect from the first eviction. Canada, you have the power to come to the rescue of your favorite house guests and keep them safe from the first eviction. The house guests with the fewest votes will find themselves in immediate danger. You can vote as often as you'd like and attempt to save all your favorite house guests, then make sure to tune into the premiere to see how it all plays out. So that's what we know.
So Canada is voting.
Yes.
I have Kirsten McInnes flashbacks. Canada, you better not screw this up again. So they're voting, and it says the person with the lowest votes, because normally the Big Brother Canada cast has it's either 14 or 15 people, right? How many cast members were in the cast last season? Wasn't it 15 or was it 14? Shall I go look?
Yeah, you can. I'm going to I haven't been able to keep track of the chat enough to know if Puya wants to join, so I'm just going to send him a link in case he does.
Okay, there were 15 people last time, so there's 16 people this time, so obviously it looks like they're going to somewhat. Well, it says they're in danger. It doesn't say that they're evicted. So,
yeah, just in danger.
Yeah,
in immediate
so I would
danger.
My ears went up initially with that wording. So I would assume they have some way to save themselves. But I would hope. Well, we'll see.
Touche More class says, Taran, more me without you shirts, please. The end is near. It is near. Oh man, you reminded me of that. That's one of our favorite bands here. Gonna be breaking up soon. All right, so I've got the Canada videos working, so I'm gonna see if she says her name here.
Okay.
What does a devil look like? Well, I can't say. It's a secret. Hello, I'm Ming Lee. I'm 28 years old. I'm a flight attendant, and I'm currently homeless.
Ming Lee.
That's what it sounded like.
Hello, I'm Ming Lee. I'm 28 years old. I'm a flight attendant, and I'm currently homeless.
There's no G in there, so.
Yeah, it might have been Min, might be Ming. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's Mean. Mean Lee.
But she did not say her last name. But that's fine. We'll find out. We'll just call her Min Lee.
She's 28. That's
Min Lee.
good. That's pretty old by Big Brother standards. No offense. She's a flight attendant from Montreal. Single. She's into yoga, relaxing, and having friends. Definitely considers herself a villain. Into astrology, and they also have the zodiac sign. So Jenny, get on that. Let us know how this cast is gelling.
Here, let me run through this video a little bit. If you're able to watch too, you should watch along. Okay. Or you can just watch the stream.
Canada. Yeah, I don't think I can hear it on the stream
girl, I literally just
I can. Let's see.
And now I'm about to move into
okay. So you're talking over it right now.
Oh, sorry.
I'm good. I'm a very honest person, like I'm very blunt. I don't want to say that I thrive on drama, but I do feel like my life is full of drama. I have a big ego, toxic. I'm not gonna be nicey nice when I put people up on the block. I'm gonna say it how it is. You annoy me and I don't wanna live with you, so you need to go. Do I care if people like me? Honestly, I like me, so I don't really I don't like people that are socially inept, people that are arrogant, know-it-alls. I don't like bitches. There can only be one bitch in the house, and that's me. I'm a social chameleon. Like, I'll be whoever I need to be. Shy, quiet, and observant. The center of attention, loud, obnoxious. I could definitely be a bitch. I'm going to be the girl next door. When it comes to guys, I usually go for bad boys. Danger is hot to me. Not very many men can handle me. One of my close girlfriends called me a predator. My ex-boyfriend said this to me. He's like, you're a narcissistic Medusa. He was kind of complimenting me. I feel like this game was made for me. I'm an extreme person. I have a high tolerance for chaos. I am chaos. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to fall in love. I'm here to get that money. I will do anything to get what I want. I would rather be hated and be the winner than be Canada's favorite. I feel like it's impossible for me not to be me.
Oh boy. Well.
Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of a lag. Like I feel like you guys should be reacting to stuff like way after the fact, like or something because
it's probably I think it's like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
tops.
something like that. Yeah, it's cool. I figured it out, so I shut up after that. But I was like LOLing throughout that entire video. Like that was fucking great. Like people in the chat are like saying Cindy, Cassandra. Honestly, like I take your point on that. But like, and we were talking about something on RuPaul's Drag Race podcast. Like, it's impossible not to compare to previous seasons. I get that. But my God, like she seems like her own woman, and I am so here for that. Like that, just to hear that sort of strength from her, whether it's fake or not, I don't even care that it's fake. It may, I don't think it's fake, but even if it is, I really don't care. I'm just glad that we are getting that from her because where has that been on Big Brother US, girl?
I'm trying to find her bio, and I'm not. I can't find it.
Okay.
I just have the page with the video. Let me know if you guys have a link to the bio for her here. I tried to load more and it didn't actually load anything else.
Just off the top, are there any patrons in the cast? Because I know that I thought there were some in the running, but maybe I misheard on that. Do we know?
I do not know.
John Luke Kuiper. I swear I've heard that name before.
You guys see me clicking load more, right? It's not doing it. You keep telling me to click load more.
Yeah, but Puya, did Chris Wiley just sign up yesterday like he did with his like YouTube videos? Like Puya says that Chris Wiley is a patron.
Puya, I did send you a link in case you wanted to hop on. Actually, no, I think I saw Puya tweet that he might be at work. Maybe that's why. A patron of pseudoscience, that is. See, look, guys, load more, click, nothing happens. The link is in the chat. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Jack.
What did Jack do?
Gave me the link to the bio. All right.
Okay.
So she is a flight attendant, single. What is your strategy going to the house? Depends on the people in the house. It's a social game. I want to get a feel for the house guests first, but ideally I want to form an alliance with 3 other people who are loyal and who I can rely on. So I was expecting that we're going to see a lot of influence from the Pretty Boys heading into this season, whether that means Guys Alliance or I think what I'm seeing here, which is like 4-person alliance from some people who might be like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do.
I would really hope that people saw Big Brother Canada 7, specifically people like Chelsea, and said, you know what, I don't want to look like a goddamn idiot. Like, I really don't want to be played like that. So I'm praying to God that there are some people who are smarter than that who can sniff those kind of alliances out.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. So she's definitely portraying herself to be a villain. I was a little skeptical when she said, I'm a social chameleon. That I can be shy and quiet in the corner. I was like, I don't know about that, given everything else that's going on.
Yeah, no. That's what she said to get on the show or make it. That's something you say to like Big Jeff or something. Like we know that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like people might feel like she might genuinely feel that's true because when she hangs out with her friends or like goes out and hangs out with other people, that she can like pretend to be a certain way for an hour or like depending on the circumstance, she sort of adapts to it. That's sort of what everybody does. But when you're living in a house 24/7 playing a game that tests you emotionally and mentally and everything, then you're much less of a chameleon than I think you anticipate yourself to be, especially if you are so strongly a certain kind of person.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're all human beings, right? We all have we're sad one day and we're happy the next, and we're depressed one day and we're more excited the next. That's a natural part of human day-to-day life. That doesn't mean that you're like a chameleon. Like actually, a chameleon means that you can like literally change your personality based on who you're talking to, and there's no way that this girl can do that. I mean, like I take your point. Spray Panos in the chat, shy bitch, quiet bitch, etc. Like that's kind of what I got. Like, yeah, she's a happy bitch, shy bitch, quiet bitch, but she's gonna be a bitch, and she said it in her videos. So I want her to own it. I feel like she's definitely gonna own it, and those are the kind of people that I live for. Like, who was it? Somebody in the chat said this is a Brent first round draft pick. I mean, possibly. Like, I'm living for this woman.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. Like, she could just be somebody that knows how to get cast on the show, and so she is completely playing this up. But if that's the case, then I think she's probably, a different kind of person, right? Like, So anyway, why do you think you were selected? I'm a pretty unique person, and I was myself. I wasn't trying to be anybody else, and I think they appreciated that. So she's definitely doubling down that this is not a facade.
Okay, good.
What part of the experience do you think will be the hardest? Not having any privacy and being filmed 24 hours a day with a mic on. It's jarring and daunting, but I'm willing to take on the challenge. How do you want people to remember you as a player? As a very smart, cunning, and strong competitor. If you win, what will you do with the money? She wants to travel, start a business, and get a driver's license. Pet peeve, narrow-minded and ignorant people. Biggest fear is drowning in the ocean. Typical Sunday is yoga, hanging out with a friend and relaxing. Geeking out on astrology. most spontaneous thing she's done. There are too many. But one would be, I booked a one-way ticket to Guatemala and had no plans. I met my friend in the middle of the jungle. Well, then she probably had plans to meet her friend, no?
Something like that, yeah.
So, if you could eat one thing, it would be steak. I'm a carnivore. She shares that with Chris. Fact that surprises people about her is that she's actually camera shy. Everyone knows that if you want to film me, you have to be slick about it because I will have a fit. Well... she gets along.
Good luck with that.
She gets along with people who are non-judgmental. Interesting. She probably means just non-judgmental of her.
Yeah. Right.
Most used emoji is the crying laughy face. Idol or hero is Josephine Baker.
Okay.
I wish they would explain who these people are.
Yeah.
Mantra
Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker was actress in the 20s, right? The first woman of color to become a star. I know it was like I saw the Josephine Baker story, but it was so long ago. Sorry.
American-born French entertainer, a French resistance agent, and civil rights activist.
Yeah.
There you go. Feel the fear and do it anyway is her mantra. And a personal accomplishment she's most proud of is moving to Vietnam with $300 and living there for 2 years. She taught English, drove a motorbike, and learned Vietnamese.
Well, good for her.
There you go. She calls herself a villain. She says she's a comp beast more than a floater. She wants to be first HOH rather than first HOH or first nominee is the dumbest question. Not a single person on here should say first nominee over first HOH. No sleep or no food, no food. I think that's the right answer to that question. No food over no sleep. Intellectual skills or physical strength. She says physical strength. Backstab or stay true to your words. She says, stay true to my word. Gut instinct over pure intellect. And she's going to try nomance. She's going to try, she says.
Good luck with that. That ain't going to work. Come on, girl. Whatever.
All right.
So, God bless you.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Interesting stuff here. I'm very, based on that intro video, I think that she could be a very entertaining character. She does seem a little more grounded in the bio, but that can be misleading at times because bios tend to just be grounded because they're text. I don't know. I don't know if I'm super high on her as a player right now, but I am very high on her as a character so far. The thing that really sticks out to me is she says, stay true to my word, despite the fact that she is like talking a lot about like being a villain and being like this sort of like big bitchy character. So I'm curious to see how she plays the game here.
Yeah, I mean, I see what the chat's saying. There's definitely a possibility she could go out first. I pray to God for our entertainment that she is not. Like, we need to vote for this chick. Okay?
Right. Well, so do we feel like I imagine these videos are going to be the primary. I mean, if we think back to Big Brother Canada 6, prior to entering the house, the online community was very in favor of Kirsten, but she did not get in, right? So I think that there are a majority of voters, even prior to the season, that are not in our realm and therefore are going to be most influenced by, I think, first and foremost, the picture, and then second, the small video on the website.
And I have one more thing to add. Like, I think that, do they boot someone during the first episode every year? Like the first episode, like the actual first episode. It's usually the second episode that they boot them, right? Even if it's the next day.
You're saying
what I'm trying to say is that I think that that the TV show itself will influence people. That people see them on the first episode, they'll continue voting, and then by the next day when they end the voting, like at 2 o'clock or whatever, then that night they will read them the results.
I didn't think of that, actually.
Yeah, I may be wrong on that. That may not be how it goes. Like, they may have the votes all ready to go by the time that we get to the premiere. Which, if that's true, then they're going to go off the videos alone, and we might have some more influence.
Right. Well, usually when the feeds come up, the first week is done.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
But but that doesn't seem possible if the first week is going to be save your superhero, protect them from the first eviction. Vote. Okay, here we go. Voting ends in 2 days, 23 hours. So, so voting is going to end on what, like Saturday? So they will do that. So I will imagine that the first person evicted will be gone on Thursday night, and then we'll turn on the feeds.
So just to be clear, like, when is the first episode?
Wednesday.
So like a week from today.
A week from today.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah.
So,
we
yeah.
don't. Yeah. So we don't have much time to influence it at all. It's
This
gonna
is
be
not
all
going.
about,
This is not going to be influenced by the television show whatsoever. It's purely online. Was Kirsten? She did have a small segment on the TV show, and there was still voting that happened after, right?
Yes. Like I think an entire week, wasn't there?
No, I think it was just a day.
Was it just a day?
Yeah, I think so. Because
I thought they brought
Plur
them on.
and Marin joined the following day. Yeah. After the first eviction.
I'm old. What do you want from me?
So maybe the online community has a little more influence, but overall, I still would expect that this sort of intro video, rather than I don't think most people are going to the Ica interview.
I agree.
Before they vote. So I expect that the picture and the video are going to be the most influential. Do we think that that people are going to be high on Min Lee here?
Here's the thing. I think that they're not going to be exactly high on her, but she's not boring. She's going to be very polarizing. I think that the people who fall to the bottom of the votes in this are going to be the most boring people. Yeah,
because this is a purely positive vote. There's no negative voting. So anybody that gets any votes is going to do well here. So actually, I do think she might fare well with that being the case. Okay, so let's. We didn't watch Chris's video, so I want to just watch his video quickly before we move on.
Yeah, but Smokey Damien was gorgeous. Everyone loved him. That's why.
All right, here is Chris.
Well, let me just tell you, I call myself the game changer. I'm Chris Wiley. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Markham, Ontario, and I'm a brain transformation specialist. Yes, I can explicitly hypnotize people, like on stage, do some dramatic things.
He says I can explicitly hypnotize people.
Optimize, reprogram, game-changing. There's one thing about women. They're always wondering about the size of my brain. And guess what they find out? It's very, very big. What I do is I help people engineer the exact mental and behavioral changes that they want. I can help you take control of your own brain. You know, I work out pretty darn intensely. In the past, I did a ton of martial arts, and I even trained with Shaolin monks. But it's not all about looking pretty. It's not all about winning physical competitions. You also have to be able to talk and interact with people. And that's where the persuasion side comes in, how you can use these brain skills to influence people. I'm gonna bring it in the competitions. Mentally, I'm gonna be working on people left, right, and center. You may not know why, but for some reason, you just feel this desire inside to use the power of veto on me and be loyal to the end. I will completely reprogram the way the game is played. I'm not just going into the house, I'm going into their brains.
Well, I honestly wasn't expecting him to be that forthright about this whole thing.
I have to say, like, number one, I think there's a strong possibility that I'm gonna hate this guy.
Yeah.
Number two, please fuck me now. Like, take me now. Like, he's so amazingly hot and douchey, and I just one time. That's all I want. Like, and make it hurt. Like,
oh boy.
He's such an asshole.
I was going to say, like, who buys into this stuff? And maybe this is why. You'd probably be one of those people sitting in his workshops, like putting out your arm, like, oh yeah, just whatever it takes.
God, what a maroon, man. I just this is like we would never get somebody like this on Big Brother USA. Like this guy's amazing. Like I see so many of you are like pre-jury, first boot, please, we don't like him. I hear you on all that, but this is good TV. Like, I mean, look, you're talking to somebody or two people, me and Taran, who had to sit through Sequester's Endgame with a bunch of people who I couldn't stand because they're all so freaking boring. Look at these people. We need to keep them in the game. Let's go.
Touche says, Shaolin effing monks. Yeah. Lil says, I'm standing my ground here. He's a mark.
A mark with abs is what they said in the chat.
Krista says he has a beard and can transform my brain. Yes, I will use the veto on you. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how people are going to respond to this. I feel like again, he's kind of probably going to be a polarizing figure, which means more votes than just a boring regular non-interesting person. So I feel like I don't know if he'll be like saved by any means, but I think that he might not be in danger. I don't know what that means at this point.
He's not gonna be in danger.
Yeah. All right, so let's move back here. We'll start going in order from here. We'll go with Madeline. Madeline here, 30 years old, teacher, substitute teacher from Toronto.
So cute.
Single, very cute. Strategy going to the house. It's a numbers game at the beginning, so align with a 5 or 6 person alliance on the first or second day. Then within that group, find the one person she can trust and become her ride or die and play to the end together. Pretty stock standard strategy there. Why does she think she was selected? I'm a very really bubbly, outgoing person. I get along with most personalities. I also think they liked my vibe and energy I exude. All right, another boring answer. What is going to be the hardest? Being away from my family, friends, dogs, blah, blah, blah. Boring. How do you want people to remember you as a fun, energetic person that never gives up during competitions? As a tennis player, I think I'll bring my competitive mentality to the house. Okay, if you win, what will you do with the money? Currently still live at home and just turned 30, so I'd put a down payment on a house and give a portion to an animal rescue I work closely with. All right, let's see her video here.
Okay, let's see the video.
I wouldn't consider myself to be boy crazy, but I do like boys. Is this being recorded or am I? Okay. Hey guys, my name is Madeline. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I am a supply teacher. I teach all subjects. I don't teach French though, because I don't know any French except like voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir, which has never came in handy in my life. Okay. Oh, my jaw hurts from smiling. My current relationship status is single. I know myself so well that I know that there's a potential of being a showman. I really hope that the perfect guy is waiting for me in the Big Brother house. A lot of people see me as like just a cute little like bubbly personality, but I'm extremely competitive. So growing up, I've always been competitive in like every sport. I grew up playing tennis and I was good at it, so I pursued it, and I was very fortunate to get a full tennis scholarship to a university in the States. I was an NCAA athlete for my university, and I was captain of my team. Tennis is such an individual sport, and I think it would definitely help me in the Big Brother house. You only have yourself.
Oh my God, still
I'm a
going.
huge animal lover. I love breastfeeding animals.
Wow.
If someone in the house didn't like
I
animals,
mean,
I wouldn't trust them.
I didn't even know how she got on the show.
I think the house got
She's
guess
very
it does.
attractive, and she's gonna get into a showman.
I guess that must be it. I mean, like she
To
sounded
kind
like a
of play
slut,
the ditzy
which
role.
fine. I'm a
I'm
slut
okay
too.
with
That's
that.
fine. I'm not
If
like
my
I'm not
house
shading
guests
her on that,
see
but
me as
that's,
that
I guess that's how
person,
she's gonna get on the
so
show.
be it.
So okay.
I'm just gonna fly under the radar
Works.
that way.
Look,
I'm gonna fly
my
under the radar,
husband-
she says.
Yes,
I think
will
I
own
think
that.
that's the problem. I think she
By
might
the
fly
end
under
of
the under the
season.
radar too much and not even make it out of the initial Canada voting.
Oh boy.
Like I was so bored watching that thing.
Yeah.
With stock answers here and there. Like
Touche says, I've never yearned for the release of the grave more than this very moment. Yeah, I mean, I think they said it. She said it in her video right away. She's there for a showmance. She's gonna fly under the radar. That seems to be very self-explanatory in the sense that she's explaining it to us right now. So,
she's very cute.
She is,
yeah. Yeah, people in the chat are
very
like,
much so.
I'm not bored. She's gorgeous. Well, okay, let's pray that's enough to save her.
Look, I don't want to be shallow here, but I do think that just by sheer attractiveness, I think she might get some votes.
Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. I mean, people are voting for all sorts of reasons we don't even know why. And let's be real, it's not exactly like her personality is going to save her. If something's going to save her, it's going to be her looks. That's it.
And I say that because, like I said, I think that the cast photo by itself might be the single most influential part of why people vote for a person on the site. They look at the photo and they go, this looks like somebody I might like, because we don't know these people at this point, and not everyone's gonna go and dig and watch all of the videos and do all of the research. They might just click on the hot people and be like, I like this person. This is, unfortunately, sometimes I think how this works. So who knows? And she's not like bad, like she's perfect, like there's nothing that disqualifies her from people liking her. She's just a little boring. All right, so she says slow drivers are her pet peeve. That's fair.
As you go through the bio, I'm gonna go get a Coke real quick.
All right. Biggest fear: losing my family and friends. Typical Sunday: spending time at the dog park. Geeks out on Big Brother Canada. Okay. Most spontaneous thing she's done: booking a last-minute vacation to Montenegro. Man, people really feel like booking spontaneous vacations are I guess spontaneous. If the most spontaneous thing you've done is like, I did a last-minute trip somewhere. I don't know. It's just. One thing she could eat in the house, it would be fruit. Manitou, thank you for the 12 months. Hyped. All right. Let's see. She's extremely competitive at board games. She gets along with friendly and people and animal lovers. Most used emoji is I heart. Much more appropriate, I feel, than Chris's I hearts. Hero or idol is, besides Dan Giesling, my grandmother. That's interesting. All right, so Brent, two kind of hopeful things that have come out through this so far. She says she geeks out on Big Brother Canada, meaning she seems to be a fan. And she said my hero or idol besides Dan Giesling is her grandmother. So even though she is this archetype, she at least seems to be a fan of the show, which I think gives us a little bit of hope that she might be a little more than just what we've seen so far.
And there have been plenty of people who I have been surprised by. Even when we covered Sequester, and there were so many people. I interviewed them one-on-one, and then I saw them on the show, and I'm like, oh my god, I love you. I hated you before, but now I love you, and there are other people I loved, and then I hated. So I leave open the possibility that this person is somebody that I'm going to be like, oh my god, I love her. She's amazing. But my initial reaction is not good.
Yeah, and like not only a fan, but a fan of Dan Giesling, which means she's a fan of like the very strategic backstabby kind of game, which doesn't mean that she would play it, but it at least might mean that like there's a big difference between Madeline as a character, as somebody that might have been cast on Big Brother Canada 7, and Madeline as somebody that might have been cast on Big Brother Canada 6, right? Like, there's a difference between the boring fly under the radar character that's oblivious and the boring fly under the radar character that might actually see through some things because they know the show.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, let's hope.
Gives me a little bit of hope there.
Gives me hope as well.
Mantra is knock me 7 times, I get up 8. Personal accomplishment is getting a tennis scholarship. Yeah, I got that from you.
My God. She must have really needed that scholarship because that's what she's talking about.
She calls herself a hero. She says she's a comp beast over a floater. Says she would have the first HOH. No food over no sleep. Physical strength over intellectual skills. Stay true to her word over backstab. Gut instinct over pure intellect. And yes, showmance. All right. Nothing super surprising there. All right, let's move on to... She's also the top of the list, which is not insignificant, I think, when it comes to getting votes.
All right.
Kyle Rosendahl. He is 31, a Virgo. He is from Alberta, and he's an electrician, and he's married. Okay. Strategy going to the house. Perception is reality in the Big Brother Canada house, especially at the start of the game. If you look at me, I'm a bigger, muscular guy, so I want to work hard at the beginning to get along with all sides of the house. I want to appear as good guy Kyle, a husband and dad, instead of super competitive Kyle. I like that answer. He's definitely seems like he's in the know about how we speak about the show, and he's very conscious of his the perception that people will have of him going into the house. So I like that he's thinking about that sort of thing. Why do you think you were selected? I'm pretty eccentric. I'm a pretty eccentric individual who's competitive, entertaining, and emotional. I'm also someone who speaks his mind, but will lie when I need to. Overall, I think I'm a pretty relatable person. What experience will be the hardest? I'm a really emotional person, and if someone taps into that quickly, they could potentially manipulate me in the game. I don't mind that he says this. I like that he's aware of the weakness, but it probably does mean that it's a pretty big weakness. So it is something that I would watch out for.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. All last season, we were talking about the fact that when people announce their weakness in their pre-season interviews, it's usually because they've been told about it, they're aware of it, and they still can't fix it. So It's going to be pretty bad.
How do you want people to remember you? Someone who played from the start to the finish and didn't take their foot off the gas. I don't want to crumble and quit if I get backdoored or put on the block. I want to be known as someone who played until the end, whether I get evicted or win. Love to hear that. What would you do with the cash prize? Pay the debt that I've accrued, put some money away for my kid's future, and take my wife on a much-deserved vacation. All right, let's hear what he has to say in the video.
I'm gonna come into this house like a wrecking ball. My name's Kyle, I'm 31 years old, I'm from Okotoks, Alberta, and I'm an electrician. I'm a family man, and I'm a blue-collar guy. I'm a lot of things mixed into one, so I feel like I tick off a lot of boxes. I am a construction electrician. I've hated it since the day I've started it. But I make a pretty damn good paycheck now, and it takes care of my family, so that is the only, and I mean only, thing that I like about it. Married with 2 kids, don't know how that ended up happening, but it's turned out to be the most rewarding thing in my life. I'm here for my family. I hope I make my kids proud. That's what I strive to do every day. My favorite part of being a dad is coming home from work and then having them run up to you and scream, "Daddy!" It makes me feel special, because sometimes at work, you feel like you're getting on 24/7. Well, I've been competitively powerlifting for just about a decade now. I have 7 national records, and I was 8th in the world last year in bench pressing. So that's what's turned the body into the body you see in front of you. Kyle is an eccentric meathead with a little bit of princess sprinkled on top. I'm an athlete through and through, so the competitions I feel like are gonna be a big thing for me, but I think what's gonna shine through a lot is my social game. I'm very, very much a social butterfly. I feel like socially and emotionally, I'm very all over the place. So I don't try and stick myself to just one group, you know? I feel like I'm gonna appeal to a lot of different audiences, both in the house and watching at home. Make sure every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, you clear your evening schedule, because I'm gonna make sure you're gonna have a damn good evening.
Okay. Whoops. That is Kyle. I like him. I think I like him.
I like him too. I instantly thought of the fact that Big Brother Canada is notorious for turning down the feeds when they don't want us to see something, because their sponsors, it's free feeds, so the sponsors are the ones who sponsor the feeds, and then whenever they do stuff that they shouldn't, they don't want us to see, they turn the feeds off. And this is the kind of guy that will probably get the feeds shut down, because he swears all the time. He's going to get the Big Brother. Remember, house guest, Big Brother or Big Canada is watching, so make sure not to swear. And they're like, well, and it's going to be impossible to control him. So I don't know if I love him for that, but I do love him for his intro video. He seems very fun and very energetic, and I do think that he seems like a recruit. The chat is very convinced that he's a recruit and that he's never watched a day of Big Brother Canada in his life, and that's definitely a possibility. But look, we're always going to have recruits, unfortunately. And if they're going to be recruits, they better at least be entertaining and competitive. So
Yeah,
let's see what he gives us.
we are not watching the Ica videos on the stream. They're too long to have on a stream about this. But if anybody has watched them and they have given you more information about whether or not the person is a fan, that's like the one piece of information that I'm not getting from the bios or these videos. So that's very important. So if you have that information, please let me know, because the only person we've seen with any evidence so far is Madeline, who talked about Dan Giesling. I will say, saying that perception is reality in the BB Can house indicates that he's probably at least watched something in Sequester, or maybe watched a little bit in preparation for the show, or at the very least talked about the game with somebody. You don't usually say that if you're a recruit. It's kind of an in the know kind of statement. So I would expect some base level of knowledge, even if he is a recruit. But we'll have to wait and see. All right. So biggest pet peeve: toes. Biggest fear: heights. Typical Sunday: working out with some friends, coming home to a nice family meal. Geeks out on UFC and MMA. Most spontaneous thing he's done: road trip to Vegas. I said this when you were gone, Brent, but so far all of the most spontaneous things have been, oh, I did a trip.
That I totally planned.
Yeah. It was last minute though, swear. All right, that's your congrats. If you could only eat one thing in the house, it would be steak. Wow, that's the third person that said steak. Fear about that surprises people. A fact about me that surprises people: I'm an emotional person. He gets along with people who powerlift or work out. Most used emoji is I think it's the smile with like the rosy cheeks.
Okay.
Idol or hero is powerlifter Dan Green. Mantra is one life, roll the dice. Personal accomplishment most proud of: top 10 in the world in bench pressing. Now that's an accomplishment right there.
Yeah.
That's not, I got a tennis scholarship. That's a real accomplishment right there. That's something to be proud of. He says he's a hero, a comp beast, first HOH, no sleepover, no food. I get these lifters, I know that they want the food, but sleep is also important. Intellectual skills or physical strength? He says intellectual skills. Stay true to my word over backstab. So far, nobody has said backstab. Gut instinct over pure intellect, gut instinct, and nomance over showmance. Obviously, he is married.
Okay, cool.
All right. So there's Kyle. Yeah, I like him. So he seems like good casting. I do think that I think he has the potential to be a boring character on the show.
Yes.
But I do think he also has some upside. Like when I saw Mackie, I was like, this guy's gonna be terrible. And you know, whereas somebody like Kyle, I feel like he could go either way, but he definitely has some potential here. So let's look at Suzanne. Suzanne, she's 24, a Virgo from Ontario, corporate recruiter, and she is taken. Interesting. You don't usually get a 24-year-old who is in a relationship on the cast. What is your strategy going to the house? I want to be competitive, but I don't want to show that side of me right off the bat. So instead, I want to work my social game. Then when I need to, I'll start winning competitions. All right, that's pretty stock. Answer, why were you selected? I think my outgoing and fiery personality enabled me to land the show. I'm very social and adaptable and can use that to my advantage. What is going to be the hardest? I come from a big, close-knit Italian family. These answers are all the same every time. The boring answers. How do you want to be remembered? Badass, cutthroat, and not scared to make big moves. I also want to be honest, but able to lie when I need to. I like that answer. I would take my family on a vacation if I won. Blah blah.
Who cares?
All right.
I don't care what you want to do with the money. Like literally blow it on hookers and blow.
Make a joke.
Guys,
Make a joke answer for that question.
Ciao, Canada. ¿Cómo estás? My name is Suzanne. I'm 24 years old, born and raised in Vaughan, Ontario. I like to twerk. I like to have fun. I twerk whenever I'm with my friends, whenever I'm out with music.
Taran.
It's like a thing that happens.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, it went out for a second.
My body just moves whichever way it wants.
Well, we're watching the video.
Oh, sorry. You didn't tell me. Sorry.
I come from a
figured you'd hear it.
loud, crazy Italian family, and I'm the loudest of the bunch. We drink eat together, we eat a lot together, we go out together. We're all super close, loud. Like if you get us all in the room, you can't shut us up. I tried to not use my hands when I talk, and I couldn't. It just wasn't me anymore. Am I ever too much for people? I would say sometimes. Some people would describe me as insane. I'm always talking, and sometimes I talk to myself. I would lose my voice completely. You need to stop yelling, and I was like, no, this isn't normal. This verbal diarrhea all the time. Libraries were just not for me. I don't think I want to work with the loud mouths or like the obnoxious people. I think they're gonna drive me nuts. But I feel like I'm definitely gonna have to quiet it down, because if I live with these people and I'm too loud, they're gonna be like, get the loud chick out of the house now. I'm trained as an accountant, but now I'm a corporate recruiter. So I want them to think, wow, this girl, she has no brain, she just like talks a lot, and I don't want them to even know that like I have this other smart side to me. I will blow up everyone's game if it means keeping my ass safe in the house. Manic mayhem, house meetings, riots, chaos, yelling, hair pulling, I don't care what's happening. Love me or hate me, I'm gonna win this.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, just to be clear about the video, so like I have the Twitch stream muted until
I realized that after, sorry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just tell me whenever you say I'm gonna click a video, just tell me and I'll turn it on. Okay.
It looks like I'm hearing mixed things in the chat here. Some people like her, some people were bored. I'm gonna say I was a little bored there.
I was bored
with that video, yeah.
I mean, I here's the thing. Let me say something positive about her, because I feel like we've been negative on the last couple people. I do like the answer where she's like, if I'm in danger, I'll do whatever I can to stay in the house. Like I'll backstab people, house meeting, hair pulling, whatever I need to do. Like that's important that I need to stay. I like that answer because there's so many people who come in the house who don't fight to stay in the house. But that said, the rest of it was pretty fucking boring.
Yeah, I do think that like. She is the kind of person, it seems, that is boring in the cast lookup, but in the house, when combined with the other cast members, might be more interesting. She's like, seems to be. She calls herself. No, she doesn't like loud, obnoxious people, but she seems kind of loud. If I'm being honest. So she says her biggest pet peeve is loud, obnoxious people, and then she laughs. So maybe she understands that that's kind of like a hypocritical thing. But yeah, I expect. I don't know if I expect a ton of her game-wise, especially if she doesn't know the show, but she might be a sort of like interesting element to add to the cast who might be a bit loud and drama-filled. Biggest fear, spiders, typical Sunday Italian lunch with my family, geeks out on self-help books, most spontaneous thing she's done, skydive in Switzerland. Kind of travel-y, but at least it's doing something a bit more daring than just traveling. Yeah. If you could eat one thing, it would be sushi. Fact that surprises people about me is I'm writing a book. I wonder if it's a self-help book. It gets along with people who are shy. Most used emoji is heart, 3 hearts. Hero is Beyonce. Mantra is it always seems impossible until it's done. And she's most proud of getting her CPA. There you go. She's a hero, competition beast, first HOH, no sleep, intellectual skills, backstab my alliance, first one, gut instinct, and nomance. So there are a couple of unique things about her. One is she's young and taken, which is interesting. She did say backstab my alliance. She did talk, a lot of people talk a big game about like when I need to, I'll backstab my alliance. But then they do things like say, stay true to my word. Which, to be fair, I would choose stay true to my word if I was doing this, because more often than not, I will stay true to my word over backstabbing my alliance. Yeah. But I like to see backstab my alliance because too many people don't actually do that when the time comes. Yep. So I think she's got some potential. I think this so far has been boring, and she might have boring interviews, but in the house we might see something a little more exciting.
Let's hope.
All right. Brooke Warnock, 26-year-old Virgo from Alberta, social support worker, and she is super single. Strategy going to the house. It's important to be adaptable, but I'm also counting on being underestimated. Although I am quite good socially, good at building relationships and trust, I can come across a bit awkward, so people won't see me as a threat. Okay, so again, a lot of people I find tend to overrate their social abilities because in real life, you self-select the people that you interact with. And so you interact with people that you get along with. And so you're like, man, I'm great socially because people really like me and I'm great at building trust with people that I get along with. But when you go into a Big Brother situation where there's an entire cast of people, none of which are probably very much like you, you're going to have a lot more trouble. So if she says that she can come across a bit awkward, I feel that she might be an outcast at the start here. And we'll probably have to start working more individual relationships as we move forward. That's typically what you will see for this kind of person. Obviously could be very wrong, but just based off of that immediate statement, that's sort of what I'm getting.
I will say that her initial video picture at the top, she's stunning. Like that hair and that chest, like I was immediately taken by her and how stunning she looks. So I'm interested to see. I like. Here's the thing: you don't typically see the person who wears glasses looking particularly sexy. So maybe I'm overreading it, but I am intrigued to find out more about her.
Yeah. Why was she selected? I don't think there's been somebody like me on the show before because I'm quite charismatic, but I'm also awkward. I've got high energy, but I'm also collected and self-aware. So I think those qualities will reflect interestingly on TV. I don't like this very much. She feels very confident that she's like so super unique, and that's just probably not the case. But we'll see. Which part of the show is going to be hardest? Not knowing what's going on in the world. It's going to be very jarring to come out and wonder what's happened in my personal life and with my family.
No, that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is the fact that everyone in the house is trying to backstab you and get you out of the house so they can win the money. That's the hardest part.
How do you want people to remember you as a player? As someone who is strategic, because that's something I've liked the most about players that have been memorable to me. Okay, so that indicates that she has at least seen the show before, which is good. It's also the part of the show I've always been connected with. If she won, she would go back to school or travel. Let's hear from her in the video.
All right.
The greatest thing about being awkward is people expect weird things from you, which gives you like all the more room to just be weird. I am Brooke. I am 26 years old from Calgary, Alberta, and I am a social support worker. I work at an emergency shelter for people experiencing homelessness. It is an intense scenario. It really tests your limits. It's not every job where you get to go in every day and you get to feel purposeful. Like, I feel like I'm doing something that matters for people that matter. There's nothing more that I could ask for in a job. Going into the house, I am going to be underestimated. I feel like leaning on the kind of like bashful, sweet, like wide-eyed thing is gonna work for me. At the beginning, people are probably gonna think of me as a number they can pull to their side, and like I'm happy to play that role for a while, but I am hoping to find a horde of malleable sheep that I can command and eventually lead to slaughter. I am single, yes. I like men and women, but I think that showmances are a horrible idea in the game. If you attach yourself to another human as a duo, it just seems like a bad call. With my social adaptability, I have the capability to be a really great player. I don't feel like you need to win comps to be good or to go far at all. And I really hope that's the case because I probably won't win that many. I don't mesh well with the alpha personalities. Like, if you want to pick up heavy stuff and put it back down, then like that's you living your life. But if you're trying to tell other people how to live their life, that's where I got a problem. No. If you're a bro, you gotta go. I really, really want to test every aspect of like my social arsenal. I want to win so badly, like so badly. I'm gonna put absolutely everything that I have on the table. I'll let you think that I'm a number for you until your number's up.
All right, that's Brooke.
All right. I agree with the chat. As it went along, I loved her, but then
Yeah.
as it went along, I really loved her.
Yep.
Like
I'm with you.
that was so great. That was so great to hear some of that. I love the fact that she was so openly against the alpha males. Like if you're good for lifting furniture, that's great, but other than that, get out. Like yeah. So intriguing.
Krista says Joel from BB Can said he met her a few times, so she's a Big Brother Canada fan. Seems like. Lil says, I take back my Steve comment. She's the new Nicole. Touche says, future showmance with Chris confirmed. Yes, I liked her a lot. She does have a charisma to her that like I see more of what she's saying now when she says that she's a mixture of awkward and charismatic. Now again, this could be her element, this sort of like, you know, getting to show herself, but when she's with other people who aren't accepting her right away, it might be different. But I did like her. I think that there are some things that, you know, if she does know the show, which it seems like she might be, she's very strategic. She's very confident, very aggressive in her sort of how she's talking about playing the game. And she actually was very cute. I wasn't really expecting that as much as you said that.
The bangs, Aaron, the bangs. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that like I like people can have their hair however they want. I think I'm not like the biggest fan of the bangs like that. It sort of reminds me. It brings me back to Nick, and I'm just like But
oh, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about Big Brother Canada and Nick. Yeah. But no, yeah, I take your point, but it's very 70s, very mod. I'm here for it. Somebody in the chat said
to each their own.
Velma. Yeah. Very sexy Velma.
Dippin' Dots just gifted a sub to Doom Tribe. Thank you, Dippin' Dots.
Jinkies.
Yeah.
By the way, so many people in the chat keep saying, how many people have we done? How many people have we done? Like, I'm pretty sure you can backtrack and go to like the beginning of the stream. I think this is our 6th person, yes. But I have to say, you really want to go back to the first part of the stream because the first 2 people were absolutely insane. You need to watch. Who were the first 2? It was Chris and Min Lee. I think
yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I unfortunately I don't think you can rewind midstream. So but once
you have to go back on the rewatch. You can watch
once it finishes, you'll be able to watch the whole thing, and I'll throw this up on YouTube as well. You can go to videos. Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, cool. You can go to videos and then
click on videos, click on the current video. You can watch the whole thing. There you go. Maybe that's a new thing. So if you want to go back, if you missed the beginning and you want to watch it right now instead of being live with us now, you can go to the videos and start from there if you would like. But you can also just keep with us now and then go back later because it's not like we're gonna like reference a ton from there.
Yeah.
You need to know.
I'm just telling you, like the first 2 people, like, and we did these in a kind of a random order. Like the first 2 people were absolutely hilarious. Like
yes.
that was good shit right there.
Very, very much so. All right. So, pet peeve, super dominating personalities, which is likely going to be a problem since there tends to be those types of people in the house. Biggest fear is clowns. Man, she really is Nicole. Typical Sunday, reading books with my cats. Love that. Geeking out. She likes geeking out on Big Brother Canada. Perfect. She most spontaneous thing. I spent time living in the tallest tree houses in the world. That's kind of spontaneous. I like that.
That's a thing. That's not traveling.
Yeah, I mean, it involves traveling, but like spending time living in the, like, did she go from, like, it makes me want to know. All right. If you only eat one thing, it would be grapefruit. She once lived in a house with 80 cats in it. I wonder if it was one of the tree houses.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much.
She gets along with people who are good listeners. Most used emoji is the, like, I don't know what you call this. The, like the straight, like, teeth face, like,
Oh, that's a, yeah, like that. Like, awkward, yeah.
The grimace, yeah.
Yeah, grimace, yeah.
Hero is Noam Chomsky. Mantra is make your life a story worth telling. Personal accomplishment is when I was chosen to be an acting supervisor at my job. All right, well, you can aim a little higher than that. Hero or villain, she says she's a villain. Floater over Comp Beast. First HOH, no food. intellectual skills over physical strength, backstab my alliance, gut instinct, and nomance, despite the fact that she is super single. Love her. I'm excited about her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Michael Stubley, whatever. 25 years old, Sagittarius from British Columbia, military infantryman. Interesting. I feel like we don't usually get people from the military. How often does that happen in Big Brother? We got like Cody.
Yeah, but he was already out by the time he went in, wasn't he?
Right. Well, I'm assuming he's not an active.
He could be reserve. I don't know how they do it in Canada.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, I guess wow. Look at that video. I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
All right. He says he's pretty single. That's an interesting response there.
Pretty single. I guess if that's how he meant it, like pretty single. Like it's been a while.
I take this to mean like, well, you know, I've got some things going on. But
okay.
Overall, pretty single.
Okay.
What is your strategy going to the house? Going to the house, the first dilemma I'll have is whether I should throw the first HOH comp or really go for it. The competitive side in me wants to go for it, but I don't want to be seen as a target, so I'll see how I feel in the moment. Okay. Why do you think you were selected? I never thought of myself as someone that people would want to watch, but I think it might have something to do with my career in the military. Makes me unique. I like that. It's like he's actually reflecting on this, trying to figure out what it is that they actually saw in him instead of just being like so full of himself that he's like, well, of course, it's me. What part of the experience will be the hardest for you? In your day-to-day life, you have conflict with somebody, you can have the option to leave and walk away. When you're restricted to a certain square footage, you can't walk away from that person. You have to maintain those relationships. Boring answer, but it at least has shows some insight into what actually happens on the show. How do you want people to remember you? Competitive and good-natured, as hard as that might be in the house, and definitely make it to the final three. I also have the opportunity to represent the whole military. If you win, he wants to, his family runs an animal rescue shelter, indoor dog shelter that's heated, and he wants to take his Nana to Europe. All right. I'm just based on some of the wording of what he's saying, I'm getting the sense that he may be familiar with the show, but we'll see. Carissa says, what is throwing me off is he looks like Jackson Mickey. He does look like Jackson here in this thing. All right, let's start the video.
I'm trained and ready for this. My mission is to win Big Brother Canada. I'm Michael. I'm 25 years old. I'm from Prince George, BC, and I'm an infantryman in the military. Infantrymen, you're the frontline guys. When it's wartime, they're right in the thick of it. I've thrown grenades. Grenades are loads of fun, but rockets are definitely cooler. Recently, I completed the Special Forces selection process. About 1 in 5 people pass that. If I tell you any more than that I'd have to kill you. I always admired heroes growing up as a kid. I always had this idea, there's a woman and child in a room, and you know, I get to kick the door open, save the woman and child, and take out the bad guy. My current relationship status is pretty single. Sadly, I think I always end up with girls that just don't treat me nice. I want to be with someone that likes animals just as much as I do. Since I was 11 years old, I've been helping out at our family's animal rescue. I definitely love all types of animals, but my favorite's definitely puppies. Like, I love dogs. My military training has definitely prepared me for like a ton of the aspects in the house that I'm going to go through. For sure, I think I'm going to be viewed as a threat. So I'm not going to tell the other house guests that I'm in the military. I have the opportunity to represent the Canadian Armed Forces, and I'm super honored to do that because Canada really needs to know like, the men and women they have in uniform are just top-notch. I definitely want to be the hero. Mission first, and my mission's definitely to win Big Brother Canada. I'm banking on it.
All right. So you can tell he is very much the ladies' man here.
Yeah.
He's very, very practiced at the sort of like, I'm just casually jacked and I love puppies. And oh man, just I just need a good woman. I've been poorly treated, so if you treat me well, then you know. I definitely expect him to be like him and what was her name?
Which one?
Madeline. Him and Madeline, I expect might be might be interested in one another.
Definitely a possibility. So I take your points on all that, and he does seem a little douchey, and he does seem a little bit like he's pretending like he doesn't know how hot he is, and he's like got the puppy and like just casually posing. I get all that. He does seem really competitive though, but I do worry that his representation of Canadian military might hinder his gameplay a little bit. Like I want to see somebody who's in there to win it and go after it, and I don't know if he feels like he can't lie or he needs to tell the truth all the time. I'm a little bored, is what I'm trying to say. So I guess I'm waiting to see more of what's his name again? Sorry.
Michael.
You moved it. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, Michael, show me more. I'm gonna need to see more, but I think he survives this vote or whatever they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a little curious, actually. I feel like the decision to not reveal that he's in the military, I actually don't love that decision. I feel like they're going to see him as a very physical person regardless. And being somebody that's like, hey, I'm in the military, I feel like that gives you
credibility.
Yeah, like when it comes to first impressions, like I feel like the general sense of somebody from the military is that they're straight-laced, they're more honest and straightforward, and a little more reliable.
Oh, you also
than a typical
you respect
like.
him a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, I feel like they're not going to want to get rid of him right away. Like, are you really going to boot the Canadians military's representative in the House right away?
Exactly. And if he's not revealing that he's in the military, then I think the perception switches to pretty boy, lady boy, whatever, lady boy, ladies man. And I feel like that's much more threatening and much more like you're going to have much more skeptical of him. So I don't love that decision from him, but we'll see. I do feel like he could do well in the vote again. Very attractive person. Military will, I think, get him some points from the audience.
Yeah,
so.
He's going to survive the vote.
Yeah.
I have no worries about that.
All right. Pet peeve, complaining. Biggest fear, not performing. Typical Sundays, being lazy. He geeks out on reading up on things very thoroughly. He knows some useless and random facts. Most spontaneous thing he's done is lived on a boat. Okay. Can only eat one thing. It would be pasta. Something that surprises people about him is that he's in the military. Okay, so his personality is probably not very straight-laced, and people are very surprised that he's in the military. He gets along with people who are hardworking and loyal. Most used emoji is the little like smirk face, like
okay.
That's a little okay. Like. When your most used emoji is something that you're probably using to flirt with people, I feel skeptical of you.
Okay.
That's why, yeah. So my hero idol is my no grandpa. Mantra is, it's not that you failed, but it's how you move forward after failing. Personal accomplishment, most proud of, completing Special Forces selection. He's a hero, a comp beast, a first HOH, no sleep, physical strength, stay true to his word, gut instinct, probably showmance, he says.
All right. So Doom says that victim noises came up in his Ike interview, and Ella says that she's getting fuckboy vibes from him. So
yeah, that's when I said ladyboy, I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, that could make me crack up. That's what RuPaul used to say all the time on RuPaul's Drag Race. So like, hello, ladyboys. What's up?
Psycalc, thank you for the 14th month. Did victim noises come up from Ica? I assume it's from Ica, not from him.
Oh, that'd be great if Ica said that to him.
Is there any indication on whether he knows the show? Like I said, there was some language he used that indicated that he might be somewhat familiar with the show, but again, we do not know much from what we're getting in these videos and bios. So if you know anything about that from the Ica interview, please let me know. But if not, we will move on. To Sheldon. I think somebody sent me. I'm waiting for Ica's favorite. Ica's favorite was Jamar. Okay, she just tweeted about Sheldon, but her favorite was Jamar. So she said her and Sheldon would not get along. So let's see. Sheldon, 24, Cancer, from Ontario, professional wrestler.
Really?
I did not expect that from the photo. He is single. Strategy going to the house: be myself as much as possible while adapting to my environment and being extremely social. Want to be very fluent with everyone, so house guests know where my head is at. Okay, it's basic answer. I think many tools that apply to the show: the social aspect, being physically demanding, strong mental skills. I think those are the skills required to be for Big Brother Canada. What is the hardest going to be the hardest thing? I can't specify one thing to be difficult, but having to socialize the entire day to better myself in the game and being mentally locked into the game, which could last a few months, could be challenging. I'm looking forward to the challenge. How do you want people to remember you? As somebody who tried their best to do their best in the house. If you win, he says he's not here for the cash. He wants to be the winner. He wants the title, so he's going to do anything in his power. It definitely seems like he's familiar with the show, so let's watch the video.
Okay.
I'm going to take them all down. Let's do this. What's good, Canada? It's Sheldon. I'm 24 and I'm a professional wrestler. I'm a professional wrestler. That is not the UFC. That is not boxing. It's professional show wrestling. If wrestling's gonna help me with anything, it's about performing at a high level in front of a bunch of people. It really varies people's opinion when they hear that I'm a wrestler. I don't care if people like me or dislike me in the Big Brother house. I know that I'm gonna be perceived as like a physical threat. If there's an extremely jacked, physically demanding guy in there, I'll be ecstatic because that would mean I'm second in command, and that's exactly what I want. My mental focus coming into the game is heavily on the strategy, heavily on the social aspect. I'm not a partier myself. I've never consumed any alcohol in my entire life. I just don't want to ever be in a position where my mind is impaired. But if there's a party in the Big Brother house, I need to be as socially adaptable as possible. So I'm going to be right in the middle of their fake dancing, and I'm going to pretend to have as much fun as possible. Playing mind games in there is a big part of why I'm here. I have no problem flirting until I cannot flirt anymore in there. Whatever it takes to extend myself in that game, so I'm honestly kind of looking forward to it. My main goal is to be the best Big Brother player of all time. Anything besides first place is a failure. I want the competition to be as hard as possible, so when I win, I can really take pride in it. To be the man, you got to beat the man. I plan on being the man this year.
Okay. Sheldon.
Yeah, okay, I was immediately thrown off because he said he was a show wrestler, and I told the chat, I'm like, how are you a show wrestler when you're this quiet? Like, I just, like, Chris Wiley had, like, 10,000 times more energy than this guy. I mean, I realize that they're not always on, but I feel like for the interview, if he's a show wrestler, he would be a little bit more on than what he apparently is. Like, this seemed like guy at the club, not show wrestler, the way he talked. So I take your point that he has a microphone, and I can't remember who told me that in the chat, but I still felt like his energy was lacking a little bit. To me, didn't seem like he was... I'm not convinced that he's really there for the reasons that he says he's there for. Like, he says, I'm here, I want to be the best player of all time, I want to win. I wasn't really getting that from him, but maybe did you feel differently than me?
Oh, I felt that he's there to win. Like, I think he's telling the truth. I just think that he is not a very high energy person. Or at the very least, just wasn't very high energy in the interview. And so I think he's there to, like, I think he means it when he says he's there to be the best Big Brother Canada player of all time. I think that, like, I really like him. I think that in terms of, like, being a character, I'm not sure yet. The energy is definitely concerning, but I do love that he is very, like, dedicated to the game and really wants to play. And so, and you know, he is a wrestler. So, like, I mean, I'm more inclined to believe that this is just like this is him turned down. Like, this is him not on, and that when he's in the game, he might actually be a little more on, just based on like the intensity with which he wants to do well in the show. I liked him. I'm very interested to see what we see from him.
I am too. I was trying to pair the juxtaposition of how I perceived he was going to be to how he actually was. I will say this, that I saw people in the chat comparing him to like Godfrey or Anthony. Like, just because he's black, he's not like Godfrey or Anthony. I'm sorry. I don't mean, I'm not coming at you guys for that. Like, I'm sure I've said stupid stuff like that in the past as well. But like, he's not Godfrey and he's not Anthony. Like, to me, he is like so far not those guys that like I'm not sure who he is, and I'm totally fine with that.
Honestly, I kind of felt some connection to him. He felt a little bit like me, more so than anybody else I've seen so far. Like
I take your point on that because of the thing you said about the alcohol. I know that we both have done that, and neither Taran or I have ever had alcohol before for the same reasons, or at least my reasons the same as this guy's, is that I never wanted to be in a position where I wasn't in control of my mind. But I'm intrigued by him, but I just wasn't sure. Like, somebody in the chat said that Brent's calling him a liar. I'm not calling him a liar. I just thought that the way he was presenting himself, he wasn't fully aware that how he's presenting himself is not how he's coming off to me. So that's where I'm coming.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, like what he said about like if there's gonna be parties in the house, then I'll like be in there dancing with him. Like yeah, I've been there. And what he talked, like, he clearly is a fan of the show. He wants, like, he's there for the title. He wants to do well. And he wants to be well respected. I think that comes across for sure. And even like the low energy a little bit, like that's I've now have like 5 years of podcasting experience, so hopefully that is not really the case with me. But I think that if you had put me in an interview 6 years ago to get onto a show like this, I would have sounded more along the lines of him in this sort of hype situation where you're supposed to hype yourself up. Granted, he's a wrestler, so you'd expect him to be a little more familiar with that, but we'll see. But I liked him. I liked what I saw, and I'm definitely interested to see what we get here.
Very interested. By the way, for those people who've watched the Ica video, why did she not get along with this guy? That's what I want to know. Like, what was it that pissed her off, or was there something that they didn't particularly agree on, or was he trying to flirt with her? Like, what was the issue that was causing her not to get along with Sheldon? So
the tweet that she said, she put out here: "We wouldn't get along in the house," crying laugh face, "but I think he's one to look for."
Okay, all right. That doesn't sound bad to me then. That just means that, she wouldn't be able to deal with his ass in the house. But,
like she didn't get along with Kevin Martin, right? So, and I think Kevin is a little is similar as well in terms of the sort of attitude of like very like locked down. All right, so biggest pet peeve: people that are unaware. Biggest fear is nothing. Typical Sunday is relaxing. He geeks out on Justin Bieber. Most spontaneous thing he's done is jumping off a ladder during one of my wrestling matches, which, I mean, doesn't seem that crazy. I've seen that happen. If you could do one thing, it would be lasagna. Surprises people that he's never drank or done drugs. Gets along with people who strategize. Most used emoji is the like confused, like, or the sort of like finger on the mouth, like eyebrow raise, like,
okay, like
intrigued.
Okay, all right.
Idol or hero is Kobe Bryant. Mantra is clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Personal accomplishment most proud of, he's turned out so far at 24 years old. He's a villain, self-described, competition beast, first HOH, no sleep, intellectual skills. For the most part, stay true to my word. Like that answer. Gut instinct and nomance.
By the way, he's absolutely stunning. He's gorgeous. I would love to see more of him. He's an absolute god of a man. So.
I am really shocked that so far every single male that we have looked at has been jacked. Every single one. Chris, the Kyle, Michael, and Sheldon, all four of them so far have been big. I mean, Michael's the smallest guy so far. which is saying a lot.
It's so funny. In his little picture above the thing, he looked so much more slight than what he is.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like a nerd in the picture. I'm just being real. Like,
no, you're right.
It was weird the way, like, I don't know if it's been photoshopped or something, but it did not look the way he actually looks. So, whatever.
All right. Well, this is potentially the first non-jacked guy here, based on the photo at least. That's gotten us wrong before. Is this Hira? Not even gonna try. The last Dial. He is a Pisces from Ontario, an accountant, and married. More taken people. I like that.
Living for the beard.
All right. Strategy going to the house. At the start of the game, he wants to gain trust from as many people as possible and rely on his social skills. He wants to get to know everybody on a personal level and be a listening board. Then, as the game progresses, he'll rely on his physical and competition skills to take himself further. Why do you think you were selected as the first turban-wearing?
Sick? What?
Sick? Is it sick?
I can't see the words.
Sikh.
So I don't...
It's Sikh, right?
Sikh or sick? I thought it was sick, but whatever.
I think it's Sikh. As the first turban-wearing Sikh house guest, I believe I represent one of the many different sides of Canadian multiculturalism. I am also a big fan of the show and can be very competitive, like that he's a fan of the show. Yes, confirmed in the chat, it is Sikh.
Thank you.
It took me aback because one of a band that I like is called Sixth, and it's spelled like that but with a T, and it just like I was like wait, but I got it. What part of the Big Brother Canada experience do you think will be the hardest for you? I'm going to miss my wife and my 2-year-old daughter. I'm going to miss them to pieces. Being detached from the outside world and being disconnected from my family will be hard. So he has kids, or a kid. He's a daughter. How do you want people to remember you? As one of the best players in Big Brother Canada history, you played an honest and integral game. I also want to be somebody that had a hand in as many decisions that can be, and be that wing person to the HOH. He would save the money and invest it in his family and give back by contributing to a charity. All right, let's hear from him in the video.
All right.
What's up, Canada? I'm Hira. I'm 30 years old.
Hira.
I'm from Brampton, and I'm an accountant. I'm just a guy next door who happens to be Sikh. I immigrated to Canada when I was 7 years old. We come from a small village in India, in a state of Punjab. My mom picked up me and my 3 sisters, and we got on a plane, and we came here. The first thing people notice about me is my turban and my beard, the physical appearance. I see when people look at you differently, they have preconceptions about who you are and how you are. I walk into a room and I stand out. Some people shy away from it, and I've seen it growing up, and they change the way they look, but I've embraced that. My biggest fear moving into the house is missing my wife and daughter and just not being there, not knowing what they're up to. I'm humble in my day-to-day life, but I hate losing. Get out of here! I live and breathe competition. I play a ton of sports. I was on my high school basketball team all 4 years and throughout university. When I get out there on the court, I just turn into a different beast. I have to win, and there's nothing else about it. I want to make sure I mentally and physically crush you, but I won't make you feel bad about it. I'll do it in a good way. Going into the house, I do not intend to lie, cheat, and backstab. I want to play an honest game. My main goal is to gain every single person's trust. I want to be like that wise dad you can go to when you need help. Hashtag wise dad vibes. I do not want to see impatient people in the house, people that just want everything handed to them. Where I come from, nothing is handed to you. You got to earn it. I'm the first Sikh turban-wearing player in Big Brother Canada history, and I'm here to represent. I can show the world that you do not need to do anything but be yourself, and you can do whatever you want. And that's what I want to show. I can win this game.
All right, that is Hira.
Yes.
I liked him.
Loved him.
Yeah.
So sexy. God, there's so many sexy men on this cast.
I know. I was like, here's the first non-jacked person, but he was like deep into sports. He probably very physically fit, just not jacked.
Yeah, he exudes sexual energy to me. Like it just it's just naturally coming off of him. He's such a stud. Like I can't wait to see what this guy's like in the house.
All right. So, interesting. He's a big fan of the show. Again, just very aggressively interested in doing well. Like I love that. I love the people that like they have a fire lit under them because they don't want to be a disappointment. So I love that. Even though he wants to play an honest game, which, you know, playing an honest game and not having a fire lit under you is the worst. But if you have a fire lit under you and you want to play an honest game, you generally find yourself in situations where it's like you're probably going to be at least a little bit dishonest over the course of time. But we'll see. We'll see. Biggest pet peeve, impatience. Biggest fear, growing old and not having an impact. Typical Sunday, waking up, having my wife's tea, lounging with the family, doing chores. Geeks out on Toronto Raptors. Most spontaneous thing he's done is propose to my wife on a whim while driving in California. He pulled over by a beach and popped the question. All right. Burgers, fries, and pizza would be what he wants to eat. He was voted in high school most likely to be the next top model. That's surprising about him, I guess, he says. Get along best with people who are funny and passionate. Most used emoji is the upside down smiley face.
I hate that one. I never know what that means.
I don't either. I kind of take it to mean like I'm confused, but I'm just gonna smile.
Okay.
That's sometimes how I take it, at least.
I take it like if it's upside down smiley face. It's like you're laughing, but it's ironic.
Right? Yeah. Like. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Idol or hero are my parents. Mind over matter is his mantra. Being a father is what he's most proud of. Hero, he says he's a hero. Competition beast, first HOH, no food, intellectual skills, stay true to my word, pure intellect, and nomance. All right. So far, there haven't really been... I've really liked most of these people. Even the people who are not as high, I still feel some hope for. There's nobody that I feel like is just a complete dud so far.
Yeah, I would mostly agree with that. I'm still learning other names, by the way, so yeah. Sorry.
All right. Next up is Carol Rocher,
right.
44-year-old Gemini from British Columbia. She's a disability caregiver. Okay. She is married. Oh, where am I? Oh, my VPN went down. Hold on.
To play the game and is living on edge of extinction for the other 31, that they are going to be able to win the game. I just do not believe that. So I am very hopeful for this season.
All right, we are back. We're ready. We're gonna watch Carol's video here.
All right.
I was born to play Big Brother. What's up, Canada? My name is Carol. I'm 44 years old, going on 35. I'm from Nanaimo, BC, and I'm a disability care worker. So I live with my wife and my daughter. I pride myself on being a mom, but I only became that in the last 4 years. My DNA is party girl. I am a huge, loud personality. I am in your face. I am the best friend that you could ever have. I'm loyal. I am dependable, and I will also cut your throat in order to make it to the next stage. I'm a heavily tattooed, masculine woman, and I probably come off a little hardcore at first. But once you get to know me, I'm really that huge teddy bear kind of person. I was diagnosed with kidney cancer 3 years ago, and I had a nephrectomy, which means they took out my right kidney, and life got really serious. When I survived, I decided to push myself out of my comfort zone, take risks, have adventure, look for excitement. It's the age-old, you stare death in the face and then you want to just go live life to the fullest. It really did make me want to check things off my bucket list. I am the one kidney wonder. I've used humor to my advantage my entire life. My sense of humor is definitely quirky. I have zero filter, so I'm gonna have to reel it in a little bit to make sure that I don't offend anyone. I have a quarter Filipino daughter. I'm adopted. I'm gay. I work with people with disabilities. Basically, it's politically correct for me to tell whatever joke I want. I am a survivor, and I am ready to thrive in this game. Let's do this!
Okay.
Sign me up. #1 draft pick.
There's Carol. I realized I didn't read her her answers here. Strategy come in like a lamb, go out like a lion. I don't know if that's an Anthony reference. She's selected because of her personality, she says. What's going to be the hardest being away from her daughter? Probably, what does she want people to remember her by? Probably the same way I want them to remember me in life, which is loyal, fun, and unpredictable. And she wants the money to build an addition so that her mom can live in the addition instead of with them in the house. I think she is probably the most in need of the Canadian vote here. So far, at least. We haven't seen anybody over 40.
Like, you mean that she wouldn't interact with you? Are you worried that Canada's not going to vote for her? Or are you worried that the cast is not going to gel with her?
The cast, I'm not sure, will gel with her based on what we've seen. Now, we've seen few people over 30.
And a lot of people who are like over 25.
Right. It's not like a super young cast, but she's very different in the sense that not is she older, but she has a lot more life experience in general, it seems, going through, the things that she's been through. She just comes in with a very different energy than I think a lot of the other people have so far. And I think that she stands out and could be an easy target if she is available to be targeted and people are worried about being targeted.
I'll disagree with you on that, and maybe it's just my hopeful energy here, but I don't think that that's happening. I think that the person who gets the first boot is going to be somebody completely vapid, who that the cast, if they have anything to say about it, they're going to want to get rid of them. And they're not going to. I do not think that a cast that is this old, and this is an older cast, is going to want to get rid of a woman like this right away. I think she's got a chance. I really do. So I'm here, and I just FYI, I'll put it out there. Like, it's not typical for fags like me to like a hardcore lesbian. When she seems like a hardcore lesbian, like typically I don't get along with like hardcore lesbians. I'm just like in my life, but I fucking love her. She's amazing. So I am so psyched to learn more about her and watch her on this season. And I'm praying to God she can survive the first night, because the person who's booted first doesn't like even get on the feeds, and I want to learn more about her.
I feel like what we have seen in Big Brother Canada more so than Big Brother US is that the more standout sort of characters tend to be targeted very, very early. And it's, I think, because Big Brother Canada is so twisty, there's usually some kind of twist in the first week that it makes people play a little more scared, which, the people that stand out more are more likely to go home. Last time we saw Laura, I believe was her name, and Risha and Nick and like all of these sort of like quirky standout people tend to be people who go home pretty early. Rosina, yep, absolutely. So there's a very clear trend in Big Brother Canada for first person out, and I do think that she fits that mold, unfortunately.
Okay, it's definitely possible. However, with the vote in play this season, I feel like she could be saved, and once she gets her feet wet, I do feel like that she'll be okay then.
I think if she survives the first week or so, she definitely seems like she could do well, and I think she could probably do well than most older archetypes, because she's not that much older. She's only 44, and it seems like there are a decent amount of people who are in their 30s, and so she's not so far removed that she couldn't integrate post week one sort of thing. But we'll see. Pet peeve: chewing sounds. Biggest fear: being murdered by a serial killer. Oh, watches too much true crime. Typical Sunday: spending time with my family, geeking out on hockey. The most spontaneous thing she did was meeting her wife online, and after only a few weeks of talking, I flew her in for a month to hang out and get to know each other, and the rest is history. That's a bit spontaneous. I would give that to her. Yeah. Steak again. Wow. Surprising fact, she's an ordained minister. She gets along with people who are fun and don't take themselves too seriously. Most used emoji are the prayer hands. Idol is pink because she encompasses everything I want in life. I love her and her family and everything they represent. Mantra is hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Personal accomplishment most proud of: I quit drinking 20 years ago. calls herself a hero, competition beast, first HOH, no food, intellectual skills. Okay, here we go. Backstab your alliance or stay true to your word. Depends. I would stay true to my ride or die, but backstab everyone else who's expendable. Good answer.
Good answer.
Gut instincts and nomance. Yeah, I'm same thing. I'm worried for her in the first week, but we'll see how this twist plays out. I think that she could do well if she sticks around.
Let's hope, Taran.
All right. Let's move on to Nico. Nico Vera, 31-year-old Libra from Ontario, a sales manager. He is another taken. Very interesting. Strategy going to the house. Stay out of the spotlight. Why do you think you're selected? I'm a super fan, and my personality is probably very much aligned with the type of people selected for the show. Good to know he's a super fan. What part of the experience will be hardest? Just like school or work, I think the first few weeks will be hardest. Then once you get used to it and familiarize yourself, you'll become well-versed in terms of how you need to action things and move forward. How do you want people to remember you? As a superstar. If you win Big Brother Canada, how will you spend your prize money, pay my debt, and travel? And now I need to once again fix the
don't show your password this time.
Oh God.
If you have to go off screen, that's fine. I can still talk.
I don't have any ad blockers on. You're lying to me.
Lying, VPN.
Oh my God. It's been working. I didn't change anything.
I know, right? They're on to us. Nico seemed very nervous with Aika, Doom says. Nico, his picture, again, stunning. There's some hot fucking men in this cast. Like men, not boys. Not fuck boys. Like men. Y'all. I'm just saying. Oh, Taran.
Where is the ad blocker coming from? All right, give me a sec.
Well, why don't you click that disable ad blocker now?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's just bringing me to an FAQ.
No. Taran, you need a VPN sponsor. Does he really? He probably has one, I would assume.
I don't have a sponsor that's a VPN. But...
Oh, okay. ExpressVPN is the GOAT.
I like mine.
Do you mind saying which one you use?
Well, they all know now.
Oh. Okay. Sorry. Which one does he use, guys? I guess it doesn't matter, but ExpressVPN is, I've heard of that before, so that might be a good choice. I always, I never have any problems, so maybe I'm just lucky. Very rarely. I think at like season 4, I definitely had problems, but then I sort of fixed it and did a hide my ass kind of thing, so. Liv says she liked hers until she realized that larger websites are cracking down on the most common VPN IPs. Maybe the VPN is blocking, Lorenzo says.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Just needs to hold out for like another 45 minutes or so.
You do not want to get on my bad side.
All right, let's hear this.
Sorry, I
started the video.
I'm from Toronto, and I work in sales. At times, I don't really know who I am. It depends on which mask I'm wearing. I really regard myself as having a duality in terms of personality. Nikolai is this very courteous, calm, humble, respectful guy, and Nico can be this cocky, like abrasive, aggressive individual. He's pretty much locked up, and he doesn't get to come out of the cage. You might see him in the Big Brother house. My mom grew up in Colombia. She had very, very rough upbringing, and then she moved to Lebanon, and civil war broke out. My father was a United Nations peacekeeping officer. He was stationed in Beirut during the war. That's how he met my mom. She fled Lebanon 4 months pregnant with me, and then she arrived in Montreal, and that's where I was born. That's why I speak French. My mom taught me Arabic and Spanish, and my dad taught me Norwegian. Jeg heter Nikolai, og jeg skal knulle alle som I Big Brother og ta pengene hjem. I said, my name is Nikolai, and I'm going to everyone who's in Big Brother and take the money home. Pardon my French, kiss my ass, yes. Lying is probably essential. I'm not going to tell anyone that I work in sales. Probably going to tell them I'm like a cashier or something. I'm very athletic. I gym pretty much 3 to 5 times a week. I play soccer twice a week. I think I'm going to be very good in physical comps. People automatically dislike me, and so I got to make sure that I kind of stay in the background before I can truly unleash Nico. They're going to hate my guts, which I'm totally fine with. I just have to really keep my cool because I'm loud, I'm super confident, and I will be a huge threat once someone realizes who I am.
All right, Nico.
Wow, there was a lot there.
Again,
not
very
bored.
very physical. I feel like instead of making the challenges less physical, they're just making all of the guys really physical, so that it's more competitive that way.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, nothing bad here. I like that he's a fan. I like that he's, again, very competitive. Sounds like they're casting a lot of very competitive people, or at least they come off that way in these opening videos. So I'm into it.
So the thing about him, I'm not going to tell people that I'm in sales. Bitch, what the fuck? Like, that is so dumb. Like, who cares that you're in sales? No one cares that you're in sales, okay? That is not impressive. I'm sure there are people out there who are in sales who are impressive people, but just saying that does not make you intimidating. No one's going to be intimidated by that. In fact, you're probably just going to make a mistake because you're actually lying to people now, and you got to keep up with the lie. Like, if you can tell the truth, tell the truth. There's no reason to lie.
Yeah. Pet peeve, impatient people. Biggest fear of being deeply inadequate. Typical Sundays relaxing. He geeks out on books, reads a lot. Most spontaneous thing he's done is backpack through Europe. Very unique. If any could eat anything in the house, it would be black licorice. Fact about you that surprises people. I'm very nice. Most people think I'm the opposite based on face value. Okay, that's interesting. So he seems to have gotten feedback that people don't usually think he's nice. That's important to note. All right. Gets along with people who love with their hearts. Most used emoji is the crying laughy face. My hero is my dad. Mantra is I'd rather shoot for the moon and miss. Oh, these mantras are always just boring. Personal accomplishment. Getting to where I am today. Calls himself a hero. That's interesting. I thought he was going to say villain.
I thought for sure he would say villain.
Competition beast, first stage HOH, no sleep, intellectual skills, stay true to my word. Gut instinct and nomance. I'm getting very mixed vibes from this guy.
Yeah, I don't think he knows, but I don't think he knows what he is, but I think that also leads into the duality that he was talking about. Like that thing he did at the beginning where he was like, I'm different based on the light in the room, and then he was up here and then he got closer and his face looks completely different. Like that was so cool, and I identify where he's coming from on that. Like I'm not like that, but I understand where he's coming from on that.
Yeah.
You think he's the first boot, Quan? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll get a lot of votes. I think he might be one of the ones in danger.
You in danger, girl.
I think he doesn't stand out enough. All right, next up, Vanessa.
Let's watch the interview first.
Before we read the...
Yeah, because like that's what you're having trouble with, right?
No, it's working.
Oh, it's working. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
All right. There's Libra from Prince Edward Island, a lobster fisherman, and single. Strategy going to the house is that she will enter the house and have great conversations with 4 or 5 people before the first HOH, which I want to cream and win. Then if I win, I'll have to pick the litter. I'll have the pick of the litter for the season and have a lot of say in how the season plays out. I also want to fool everybody. As a fisherman, I believe people won't see me as a mastermind manipulator. I want to use that to my advantage, gain trust from the house guests, and get them on my side.
Thank God. If she said she was going to lie about being a fisherman, I was going to lose my fucking mind.
Yeah. Why was she selected? For starters, no one from PEI, Prince Edward Island, has played Big Brother Canada, so I think that's a big part of it.
That sounds interesting.
I'm so excited to be the first person from my island to play. I live a different life than most people, being a female lobster fisherman in a male-dominated industry. I also work on cruise ships and travel the world, so I think that makes me stand out. Okay. What will be the hardest if I don't win? Love that answer. How do you want people to remember you as a player? As the person who surprised everybody when I was able to fool them into thinking I'm one type of person when I'm really much more than that. If you win, what will you do? Buy a house, mortgage, whatever. All right, let's hear from her.
These house guests are gonna fall right into my trap. Hey Canada, my name's Vanessa. I am 26 years old. I'm from Mill River, Prince Edward Island, and I am a lobster fisherman. Fishing lobsters, it's definitely a male-dominated industry. I love proving to men that women can do it and do it better. So fishing lobsters is crazy. You get up insanely early in the morning. You go out no matter what the elements. We go out in wind, rain, no matter what, we're going out there. We haul 300 traps a day. They weigh 150 pounds each. It's just go, go, go. Hopefully I can bring that into the house and kick some ass. I'm super proud to say that I'm the first Islander to play Big Brother Canada. PEI, I am your girl. I am not gonna let you down. You best believe I'm gonna bring the win home to the island. Hell yeah, I'm the pride of PEI. I am going into this house with a plan. I'm gonna talk a lot, I'm gonna be loud, always laughing, in your face type of person, but I would not play this game if I wasn't ready to make big moves. If I can use the power of veto and just shake things up. If I win a secret power, I definitely wanna try to use it and play the game as though it's meant to be played. I think people think, oh, she's a fisherman. They're not gonna think she's some mastermind manipulator, but that's exactly what I am. I am extremely competitive. Give me an endurance comp, give me a crazy strength competition, bring it all on. I am definitely not going to be a floater. Working on the high seas has taught me one thing. When something floats, it stinks.
Okay. I really feel like there is an active reaction to last year in Big Brother. I mean, Robin casts all the seasons, so I feel like there has been a reaction to the casts from previous seasons. Every single person we've had so far has emphasized how competitive they are and how aggressively they want to play the game, except for maybe Madeline. So I really feel like they're active. This has to be an active attempt to cast aggressive game players, and I'm all about it.
I am too. That's the one thing that's been coming through as well. Even if you're not particularly into the personalities of the people that are being presented, I do feel like we're getting people who are not like if you went into the interview with Robin Cass this season for Big Brother Canada 8 and you said my plan is to kind of fly under the radar and no, it wasn't going to happen. I feel like that for the most part they're going for people who are, whether they're train wrecks or not, they are people who are going to be competitive. They're going to go for it. They don't mind being eliminated as long as they're playing hard. And so I'm here for that. I want to see good television. That's exactly how I would play if I ever went on one of these shows, is just go for it. Why not? You only live once, and your chances of winning are like 1 in a bazillion anyway. So who cares?
Yeah, and I do like her. I like the I don't know how successful she'll be at hiding her duplicity, but I think that she will add an interesting element to the mix, and I'm curious to see how she does. I think that how well she does is very much dependent on how well she knows the show. So we'll see.
I will say that so. Maybe you disagree with me on this. I think there's an off chance that she could lose the audience vote. She wasn't exactly like amazing to watch in the interview, and it's not like, I mean, she's a cute girl, but like she's not stunningly hot to me that like I think people are just going to click on her because she's hot. So
well, how I'm not hugely knowledgeable about Canadian geography, but how populated is Prince Edward Island? Because I would imagine like I based on what I've noticed is that people really like the representation of their particular area of Canada.
We're not taking into consideration.
I'm seeing it's very small. Okay, so maybe that won't help her too much, but I think anybody from that region will probably be like, hey, I don't want her to be the first out. This is the first time I've seen someone from my area. But if it's a very small place, it might not be enough to counteract. But we'll see.
Tallow Lion says she's seen every season multiple times.
There you go.
Love
it.
That.
Love it.
Love that.
All right. Biggest pet peeve, people that shush me. Biggest fear, being normal. Interesting. Typical Sunday, fishing, four-wheeling, and drinking beer. Geeking out on Big Brother Canada. Spontaneous thing is when I first got my job on a cruise ship, I had never flown or traveled before. I left on Christmas morning at 6 a.m., so that was pretty spontaneous. Okay. There's one fault there. Lobster is what she would eat in the house. Something that surprises people is that she's not a dumb fisherman. She gets along with people who are loud and intense like she is. Most used emoji is the crying laugh face. Idol or hero is my dad. Mantra for life is blah, blah, blah. Personal accomplishment, being a woman fishing lobsters. Hero or villain? Hero, competition beast, first HOH, no sleep, physical strength, stay true to my word, gut instinct, and showmance is a yes. Which I could see happening, but there actually haven't been that many people who are open for showmances. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
I have the same question as Corey. Did she actually say blah blah blah?
No.
Okay.
I'm just done reading the dumb mantras.
I would stand her so much.
That would be great. That would be great. All right. Next up, Angie Tacky from 33, Libra from Manitoba, communications officer and super single. She really wants to go into the house. Strategy is going to be experience every single part of Big Brother Canada. Have a showmance, eat slop, win a veto, win an HOH, make an alliance. I want to endure everything I've studied from this game and enjoy it all. Another fan of the show. Love it. Love it. All right. Dippin' Dots just gifted a sub to Sora Quill. Thank you, Dippin' Dots, for the support, and welcome Sora Quill to the Robot Army. Why do you think you were selected? My personality can be very big. I think it's bigger than I realized. Big Brother Canada is great at choosing big personalities that viewers can relate to, and I think I'm relatable too. What part of the Big Brother Canada experience do you think will be the hardest? Being away from my nieces and nephews. I'm super auntie and with them all the time. Won't be the game itself. It'll be the moments in the house that I'm thinking about them and missing my babies. How do you want people to remember you? I want people to get to know me and the good qualities of my personality. I'm a caring person, but also super entertaining. I want people to remember my big moves and relationships that I hopefully make in the game. I want to be memorable in every capacity, and buying a house and blah blah. Pelondromes just subscribed with Stitch Prime. Thank you, Pelon, for the support and welcome to the Robot Army. All right, let's hear from Angie.
I'm gonna make every single one of you superfans super proud. Hey Canada, I am Angie. I'm 33 years old from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I'm a communications officer for the city of Winnipeg. I love being a boss. I like to command people. I like to get my way. I don't know how to turn it off. I wanted to be on the show like more than I can actually verbalize. I have been watching and studying every single season. I've watched seasons over and over again. I am so ready. There's nothing that I do in my life that I just kind of half it or that I do without enthusiasm. I am like all in. I am on 24/7. If it's too much for people, that's too bad for them. When I was in high school, I was a cheerleader. You know, I loved to dance. I loved to throw those girls up in the air and sort of show my strength. You definitely can take the girl out of cheerleading, but you cannot take the cheerleader out of the girl. You know, when I smile, I do a because that's just like my natural cheerleading smile. I don't know how to like stop that. Showmances, oh, so exciting. I consider myself to be fiercely single. I have been single for like 8 years. I'm gonna make some love connections. I cannot wait for that part. I am so boy crazy. I love the fact that there are gonna be tons of men that are hopefully all available. I'm just ready to like scoop me up one, scoop up another, and then scoop up another. To be living this dream right now, I am pinching myself every minute of every day because this cannot be real.
All right, Angela, Or sorry, Angie. It's a lot of Angies and Angelas.
Love her. She's a fan. She's watched every season. She's watched it multiple times. She seems like she knows what she's doing. She's got a great personality. She's fun. Oh, she's my new favorite. I mean, I don't know if she's my favorite overall, but like as far as like my initial impressions of her, I am just so psyched to have her on this cast. She's so excited, and I could feel her excitement coming through the TV.
Trey of Spades, thank you for the 9 months. Deborah for 2 months, thank you very much. And Daquan with 100-bit cheer there. Are you at a disadvantage if you are the only single and ready to mingle? Yeah, I did think of that. Like when she is like, I really aggressively want to showmance, I was like in my head, I am a little bit picturing like some like over the top flirtiness with people who are like kind of like taken. I don't know if that's gonna really be an issue for her, but that might just be a thing to like get on the show. But hopefully, like it does not seem like a great season for showmances. So that being a big part of her thing here is maybe slightly concerning, but probably not too concerning. But I love that she knows the show. Again, seems like she really wants to get in there and play, which is great. Yeah, I'm into it. All right, biggest pet peeve, people who bite their nails. Biggest fear, losing someone close to me. Typical Sunday, playing piano for my church choir. Loves food festivals. Most spontaneous thing, she went to Venice for the weekend. Congrats.
Taran hates this question.
Homemade poutine is a thing that you would eat. She's been single for almost 10 years, and that surprises people. She gets along with people who want to have fun, don't take themselves too seriously. Most used emoji is fire. Hero is mom and dad. Very strong believer in God, she says. Mantra is praise him. Personal accomplishment is getting on Big Brother Canada. Calls herself a villain. Love that. Says she's a floater, not a comp beast. First HOH, no sleep, intellectual skills, backstab my alliance, gut instinct, and showmance. I will say I'm even higher on her now because she seems to really be like I was a little skeptical up here when she was talking about like I want people to know my good qualities. I'm a caring person. I was like, like I'm seeing there's a new floor here, which is that like all of these people are competitive and a lot of them seem to know the show. So I want a little bit more, and hearing herself call herself a villain and say backstab my lines makes me like, yes, that's exactly what I was hoping.
Yep. All
right. Daquan says, is the influence of the circle with all the showmances and flirting, is this the influence of the circle? I don't know. I feel like it's, again, I feel from what I've seen so far, it feels like they have intentionally tried to cast a more competitive cast here. That generally means less showmances. The less showmances there are, the more competitive things are going to be, because when there are showmances, there are like, if you have a cast of 16 and you have 8 showmances, then you have 8 players instead of 16 players. Every showmance takes away, it blocks up a player, right? Like now they're an inseparable pair. And that makes the gameplay less competitive overall. So I don't know if they're thinking that intentionally, but I think that they perhaps have intentionally cast a slightly older cast, less focused on getting showmances and more focused on getting gameplay from what I've seen. And that would be my hope. And it seems like it's what we're getting. And so I'm excited about it. All right. John Luke, 22, turning 23 on May 27th. I wonder if he put that in there. Or if they did. Taurus, he's from British Columbia. He's a journalist. He's currently single. Strategy going into the house would be starting a 5-person alliance with athletic people and be the brains behind it while running the gauntlet. At the beginning, I'd like to get out the smarter players and make it to the final 5 with strictly physical players. I'd rather battle those house guests than the more intellectual ones. Okay. This is definitely going to be a guy looking for a bro alliance. What do you think? Why do you think you were selected? In addition to being the season's eye candy, ooh, that's a lot of confidence when they're, I don't know if he's going to love walking into see this cast.
Yeah.
I think I'm a fun guy. I'm pretty athletic and I can hopefully win comps. Part of Big Brother Canada will be the hardest, maybe the slop. He's a picky eater. He loves to game at home, so not having any technology will be an absolute battle. Why do people want? What do you want to be remembered for? Anything but a floater. I have to make some game moves. I hope I'm remembered fondly as someone people like. But hey, if I'm a villain who ends up winning, I'll take that too. He'll do boring things with money. Let's hear from John Luke.
My favorite color is orange. You know, I don't mind black, even though that's a shade. When I pair them together, I kind of look like a jack-o'-lantern, but
wow.
That's okay, because Halloween is my favorite holiday. What's going on, Canada? My name's John Luke. I'm 22 years old, and I'm from beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia. Hashtag the loops, baby. I have a pretty big personality. I like to think I'm an okay-looking guy. Decent smile, you know, I got the hair. How's my hair looking, okay? When people see me, they usually think I'm a dumb guy or, you know, a big surfer boy kind of thing. But two things about me: I'm god-awful at surfing, and I'm actually pretty intelligent. I think those are the biggest things that set me apart from just a random hunk from Kamloops. You know, I kind of just have a high IQ. I am a journalist. You know, I write about 10 stories per day. Being a journalist, you kind of ask the tough questions. You kind of get to the bottom of the story. And that's sort of the thing in the Big Brother house is a lot of it's just investigating. I can find out who the target is. There's no reason I won't know what's going to happen each week. If I could have any superhero power, I think shape-shifting would be an absolutely wild one. You know, one day you're like, hey, I wonder how it'd be like to be a rhino. You just transform into a rhino. That'd be pretty wild. And everyone says flying, but I think, like, if you do shape-shifting, like, you could just turn into a bird and fly. Like, I think flying's kind of a waste. Personal opinion. I'm charismatic. I can make friends easy, and if people don't want you out of the house, you got a better chance of winning the game, and I don't think anyone's gonna want this smile out of the house.
Oh boy. Yeah, the voice is very Surfer Bro. He reminds me a lot of Dane, actually, from preseason, where Dane came off as like, hey, I'm the guy with no teeth, and like I'm just like a bit of a goof who has got some confidence, but I don't know if I expect him to perform as Dane did. And I would like to see him interact with Ica, because I have a feeling it will be pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
where Dane really got along well with Ica,
yeah.
And I'm not sure that would be the same for John Luke.
Okay, Betty is in the chat. She's like, stand back, I'm vomiting. Like, literally get out of the way. Like, she can't handle him. I take your point. I know where you're coming from on that, right? But he's not boring me. He seems to be in on the joke a little bit. Like so I can at least appreciate that about him. I love the fact that he said like people think I'm a boring surfer dude, or I can't even do his voice. People think I'm a boring surfer dude, and like a couple things about me. I'm terrible at surfing, and I'm actually pretty smart. Like
I'm actually pretty intelligent.
It just it's making me smile. Like, he's a doofus, but like he seems like a fun doofus. Like I'm not annoyed by him. I'm laughing at him. I think he's probably pre-jury, and actually I think he's definitely pre-jury. I think he probably survives this vote. Does anybody watch the Ica interview? Like, what did Ica have to say about him?
Yeah, I don't feel great. I think that in a house of non-players, this could do well, but based on the cast I've seen so far, I don't know if he'll do particularly well here. It would be one thing if he was like happy in his surfer bro, just chill, kind of like, I'm not here to play too hard. But the fact that he also wants to play hard but doesn't quite seem as up to snuff as some of the other people here means that I'm not quite sure that I expect him to do particularly well. But we've been wrong before. Yes says I think Ica was least engaged with him. The least engaged with him.
I mean, he's not boring me. I'll just put it out there. Like, I wasn't bored by this. There have been other people, a few other people we've seen so far who I was more bored by listening to them. So we'll see.
It's also just like, Like they did him dirty if they asked him to do those shirtless flexes after all these other dudes.
Didn't he? Yeah, like that's. I have to say, you're so right about that. The way these were presented, because like I saw these other like gods of men, and then I'm looking at this like fuckboy, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, put your shirt back on.
Yeah.
And he's probably a pretty good looking dude, but like comparatively, not so much.
Yeah. All right. Pet peeve: people who drive with white headlights. Okay. Biggest fear is wasps. He's deathly afraid. Typical Sunday: sleep in, hit the gym, veg out, play video games, go to men's league basketball. Geeks out on video games, superheroes, and movies. I wonder if that's why he got cast. He's a big superhero guy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Most spontaneous thing he's done is applying to Big Brother Canada. If he could only eat one thing, it would be bananas. Something that surprises people is that he was valedictorian of his high school and was on the dean's list in university. It's another thing. It's just like, I promise, guys, I'm smart. See, I get along best with people who are athletic and share similar interests. Most used emoji is the tiger, and then in brackets, insert emoji. I don't know what happened there. Hero is Paul Rudd. Personal accomplishment is moving away to go to school by myself at 18 years old, and then at 20 moving 10 hours north. These are your accomplishments that you've moved twice. Rapid fire: hero versus hero or villain. Hero: competition beast, first HOH, no sleep, physical strength, stay true to my word, pure intellect, and nomance. Nomance. Even though he's currently single, he says nomance. All right.
Okay. Good luck with that. Whatever. I'm gonna need to see him in the house. I think there's a good possibility he could be like the second person booted, because I think he'll survive the vote. He could be the second person booted. I think he's definitely pre-jury. I'm feeling a little bit more douchey than normal, but he's entertaining me, so good luck.
All right. We have made it to Jamar here. Jamar, 23, Cancer, from Ontario, a warehouse worker, single. Strategy is to win competitions as much as he can. Why was he selected? Because I'm handsome, charismatic, and confident. What's going to be the hardest thing for you? The downtime. It could get boring. How do you want people to remember you? A legend and a comp beast. If you won, you would go on a vacation. All right, let's hear from Jamar.
Intro flex, you feel me? About to slap it up. What's up, Canada? How we doing? Sorry, looking at you. Yes, sorry, I love the camera. What's going on, Canada? It's yours truly, the one and only Jamar from Ajax, Ontario, and I'm 23 years old. You feel me? I would describe myself as confident, very intelligent, competitive, charismatic, very handsome also. Yes, sir. When I walk into a room, I'm the best looking guy in the room. I don't have to look around the room, I just know. I pick up ladies at the gym, at the mall, or at the club. The ladies love me. If a lady doesn't like me, maybe she has a cute friend, then I'll shoot my shot at her. I'm quick to move on. Currently single. I don't really have a specific preference, you know, as long as they're very pretty, they're, you know, shorter than me, obviously, and they have a lot of confidence. I like confident women. You feel me? Like, are you feeling me? You feeling the vibe? Like, I say that a lot. You feel me? My mom is very special. She's, you know, very loud. She's Jamaican. She had me at a very young age, and we've been through a lot together. I've seen the ups and downs, a lot of downs growing up, especially. We had each other's backs growing up, and she's the strongest person I know and the most important person in my life. I love my family so much. I'm the second oldest. I have an older brother, and then I have a 16-year-old brother, 11-year-old sister, 7-year-old brother, and then 2 newborn twins. I'm like the best big brother. I'm always have their back, and hopefully I can inspire them, you know, doing this. The type of big brother player I want to be is someone who's winning a lot of competitions. There's no throwing, there's no giving it to someone else, none of that. If I'm participating in it, I will stop at nothing to win. I'm gonna talk a lot of trash. I'm gonna get in people's heads. I'll just be all up in your ear barking and be like, yo, I'm the best. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You can't beat me. You will never beat me. You know, I wanna go down as a legend. You feel me?
Okay.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you.
I love that he said that a potential woman needed to be shorter than him, obviously. Like, that's just obvious.
Odd. Yeah. How tall is he? Is he like I don't know. It's like 6'1", like.
I don't know. I mean,
weird.
maybe there's some height insecurity there. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I had the same thing, dude. I'm like, how the fuck was this Ica's favorite? I mean, like, I love him, but I did not think that Ica would love him. So, like this is like Season of the Gods, man. Like, there are so many competitive, physical, like, just absolute, like, granite statue people on this season, both men and women. I am like, what the fuck is happening?
This is definitely interesting. Unlike a lot of the very confident people on this cast, though, I don't know if I heard much of it backed up by anything. It was a lot of like hot air, but like, is he a fan of the show? Like, does he know what he's doing, or is he just like very full of himself? I'm not sure, but I'm definitely excited to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited to watch it. I take your point that it did seem like a lot of hot air, but I was kind of here for the hot air. Like, he's like that combined with how fucking gorgeous he is. Like, that kept me very entertained. I think he's charming, and I think that he'll get by on that.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Pet peeve is inconsiderate people. Biggest fear is animals. Just animals.
Animals in general? Okay.
Typical Sunday is playing video games or going to the gym. Geeks out on good music. Most spontaneous thing he's done is gone on a vacation to Jamaica. Okay. If he could eat one thing, it'd be pizza. Something that surprises people is that he has a BMW. Okay. Gets along with people who are positive. Most used emoji is the closed eyes, stick the tongue out face. Idol or hero is Kobe Bryant. Personal accomplishment is buying my car. Okay. Rapid fire. He calls himself a villain. Not super surprised, but pleased to hear the confirmation. Competition beast, first HOH, no sleep, physical strength, backstab my alliance, pure intellect, and nomance. Once again, he says nomance despite all of that talk about being a ladies' man. Okay. All right. Not what I was expecting, if I'm being honest, but I'm interested.
Oh, wait, Dak, what did you do here? Hold on. What is this?
What?
Dak tweeted something, or sorry, it's a little clip from us previously talking on a Twitch stream that I said something about. I think I was talking about JC and how I'd hit it or something. But this is way before I knew JC and who he was and what he did and all that. So I mean, like, objectively speaking, JC was a very interesting looking guy when he walks into the Big Brother house. Then of course we know what happened after that. So yeah.
Well, there you go. All right. Next up is Rianne, 29-year-old Pisces from British Columbia, an OR nurse and single. Strategy going to the house would be aligning with strong women, or I love to align with strong women, but it also really depends on who's in the house because I also get along well with guys. So for the first few days, I'm going to go with the flow and see who I'm comfortable with and go from there. Why were you selected for the show? I'm energetic, loud, and outgoing. I'm not afraid to tell people afraid of what people think of me. Not afraid to tell people what I think of them. What will be the hardest? Being away from my family. How do you want people to remember you? Someone who's not afraid to give it their all and go for it for 100%. I'm a huge super fan. So I'm more focused on winning the title than the money. Okay. Let's hear from Rianne.
I will surgically remove my targets from this game. What's up, Canada? I'm Rianne. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Chetwynd, BC, and I'm an operating room nurse.
Welcome to the OR.
I love it. It challenges me every single day.
Let's save some lives. Whoop, whoop.
My job can go from like 0 to 100 very quick. You need to be able to react and adapt to situations like boom, 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 because there's a person's life on the table. I'm from a town of 5,000 people, 2 stoplights, 1 pub, 1 high school, 2 gas stations, a lot of bush parties. I have a huge family, huge heart. I'm definitely more of a tomboy. Definitely not girly, not in the top 5 words you would use to describe me. When I'm not saving lives in the OR, I like to let loose with my girlfriends and turn it up. I love to party. Have a good time. I don't think I turn into a different person when I get rowdy, but I kind of go from like level 10 to level 20. You're gonna see crazy Riri in the house. Get ready for it. I don't have a problem with confrontation at all, and I'm not really afraid of you. My dad taught me how to punch someone when I was like 12 years old in the kitchen. He also told me, like, if you ever have a problem with anybody, go and talk to them right now. I would love to make a girls' alliance in the house. There can be a lot of, like, strong, independent women that sometimes latch on to, like, guys too quickly instead of latching on to each other. Girls need to, like, rally together. Come on, it is time for the girls. Let's do this.
Okay. Rianne.
Yeah, I was look. She's gorgeous, cute girl, interesting, I suppose. But I was a little bored as far as watching her video. Like there have been so many interesting people in this cast that I felt like comparatively, she was not very interesting.
Felt a little basic.
Yeah, basic bitch.
Yeah. And the female alliance thing is definitely interesting. But I don't know if I've heard a ton from the other women that they're like really interested in a women's thing. And so I don't know how well this will play. If you're like the one person who's trying to push a gender thing, then it usually doesn't work out very well for you, especially a women's alliance on Big Brother.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Why is everyone saying Puya? Is Puya here?
Yes.
Ah! Oh, where are you? Hello.
It's
What's
Puya!
up, gang? How's it going? Yeah, I figured you guys are almost done. But
We
then I
are.
figured my stuff out. I'm like, let me hop on and say hello at least.
All right. Have you looked at the cast, or you've been following along?
I've had you guys on. Yeah, I've come in and out of the room, but I've been watching along with you guys for the bulk of it.
Did you just see this Rianne?
Yikes. Is my official discussion point on her. It just seems like I don't know if it's like telepromptery. It just doesn't match who I feel like she is. There's too much going on there.
I could see her being in trouble with the vote.
Me too.
And I could also see her very easily being like the first one out.
Which I would be totally fine with.
Yeah, give me that. I'll take it.
Yeah. Pet peeve is guys who think she's really anti like bro.
That's
right. Like it's like, well, that's good. Like we want anti pretty boy sort of thing, right? We don't want that to happen again. But I'm getting a very strong vibe of it. And if you are very vocal about that in the house, I've said this before, but like being vocally like pro or against a particular gender in the house is going to be very bad for you, because it doesn't immediately like gather all of the either women or men behind you, and it then makes the other gender feel very scared and intimidated by you, and they feel like all guys in the house, if they know that she is like anti-guy, are going to feel threatened and want her gone. We saw this happen with Jess in Big Brother 21. One of the least threatening players of all time, but she talked about like, hey, I want women to do well. Wasn't even very anti-guy, but what we saw was the men reacted very strongly and wanted her out often because they were so threatened by this.
And that was they were able to use that as a stick to just beat Jessica with. Like every time it came up, it's like, well, remember she's anti-guy, and it's so if you're weighing her against somebody else, it's like, well, that's the tiebreaker. Let's get rid of her.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know, and also like in the video, she mentions, girly's not something to describe me. And then if you look under the video, the pet peeve is girls who think they're better than everyone. And I'm like, you're saying all this, but then you also want a girls' alliance. And I don't know. I feel like there's going to be a lot of clash in her like beliefs. And we'll see if all of that fits and works out,
Yeah. All right. So, pet peeve: guys who think they're God's gift to the earth. Okay, she's a little even-handed here. And girls who think they're better than everyone. Biggest fear: being single forever. Typical Sunday meal prep, grocery shopping, blah blah blah. Geeks out on watching reality TV. Most spontaneous thing she's done is streaking in broad daylight at a music festival. I'm sorry, that's pretty basic. if I could, especially the fact that you really feel like it's worth saying. If you could eat one thing in the house, it would be ice cream. Wow. Fact about me that surprises people: I'm very trustworthy. That surprises people. Okay, that's not a great thing. It gets along best with people who are humble. Most used emoji is the winking, stick your tongue out face. Idol or hero is Jennifer Lopez. Mantra is go big or go home. Personal accomplishment is completing her OR nursing training. She says she's a hero, comp beast, first HOH, no sleep, physical strength, stay true to her word, gut instinct, and yes to showmance.
All right.
I think like a normal season,
Yes.
we'd be like, this seems fine. But I think that the standard that we're at right now, I think she falls a little below it.
She's, of the people that I've seen so far, she's the person I'm the least impressed by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's safe to say. I feel the same way.
Riri, I hated that nickname.
that was the last one.
Was that the last one? Have we done everybody?
There was a third page, but there were no people on that page.
Oh, okay, cool. So we didn't miss anybody, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 per page. So we've run through everyone.
Yeah, more than the tennis player, because I feel like the tennis player at least is a fan of the show, and she also didn't annoy me with how she talked. She like, you can, if it's a choice between somebody who's annoying me and is sort of basic and somebody who's sort of basic but is not annoying me, I'm gonna go with the latter. So a great cast. I think this could be the best cast they've ever had. Alex, this is a fantastic cast. I am so psyched. I can't believe it took until the last person for me to say this is the person I'm the least into right now. Like,
yeah. Let's just try to do a quick count, because we didn't really get a lot of confirmation on like whether or not somebody was a fan. But Madeline was a fan. She knew Dan Giesling. Kyle, I don't think we got any confirmation one way or another. Suzanne, I don't remember knowing one way or another. Brooke was a fan, right? Yeah. Michael, we didn't know. Sheldon is a fan. Hira is a fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one I'm not sure about, but yes, I think so.
Chris is probably a recruit, but we don't know one way or another. Carol was a fan, right? I don't know if did we find out? I don't remember now.
I don't know. I have to watch Aika's videos.
Nico is a fan. Vanessa was a fan, I think. Angie was a fan.
Yes.
John Luke, I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Jamar, I'm not sure. Rianne, we just watched her. I already forgot. She said she binges reality TV, so maybe a fan. And then Min Lee, I don't remember. But I think that's at least half, at least. And there are some that could be fans that we don't know.
And they're also competitive.
Yeah, they're all really into it.
They're really into it. There's so few, if any, like fly under the radar kind of people. I'm so stunned by this. I'm so stunned by this cast. I really am psyched. I can't wait to go on Twitter and tweet about it.
Yeah. All right. Puya, were there any that like stood out to you?
I mean, I thought I was gonna just support Sheldon because he's from Ottawa by default, but then I really loved everything I saw from him. I do have to say though, Brent is right in that I didn't get enough wrestler animated, but here's hoping that he turns that on once the cameras are on him proper, so that we could see that. So I really liked him. Chris just seems like an insane person. So the longer we have to talk about him on the live feed updates, the happier I am.
What did you think of Jean-Luc? Oh my God, I've been watching way too much Star Trek. What did you think of Jean-Luc? Because he didn't annoy me, but I feel like I can be a little biased sometimes. Was he a fuckboy to you or what?
He was one of the ones that I was not in the room for watching you guys when you guys talked about him, so I can't speak on him. Although it's interesting that he is going by Jean-Luc, but his name isn't Jean-Luc.
Right.
So.
Taran, I wish you could play the video for Jean-Luc and let me watch Puya's reaction to it.
Was it that polarizing?
He's just very surfer bro.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so I'm looking at the photos here. Now that we've gone through everyone, imagining that we're the everyday kind of voter, who's potentially getting votes here? I think, Chris polarizing. I could see people voting for him just because he's crazy. Min Lee had a great video. I think that she's gonna get a lot of votes actually. Omnom, thank you for the 22nd month. John Luke, I don't know if he's getting a ton of votes. Carol, I could see maybe getting some votes. Jamar, I could see getting some votes, especially from like the super fans that loved his video with Aika. We haven't seen it, but I've heard it's good. Rianne, I'm not sure how many votes she's getting. Hero is pretty likable, and he has a distinct look, which I actually think helps.
Yeah, I think that helps as well.
Angie, I think
she got a great smile.
She does. I don't know if she's getting a ton of votes, but she might not be last. Michael, I think the military stuff helps him out. Brooke, I think, will get some votes. She has a unique look as well. Sheldon, I think an issue with Sheldon is that his picture doesn't remind you of his video.
How is this possible? Puya, he is a wrestler with a gorgeous body, and yet he looks like he has a smaller body than me.
Yeah, no, it does not match him at all. Like when I read professional wrestler, I'd only seen this picture, and I thought, where's the rest of them?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I think that could hurt him. I mean, when we look at the like your voting, it looks like it says it's loading. Okay. It's just the photo. All right, it's not gonna load. That's fine. But it's just the photo, and you're just clicking on a thing. So I actually think Sheldon might be in some trouble there. Suzanne, I don't know. I don't think she's gonna do too well in the votes.
Which one is Suzanne again? Point to it, or can you point to it?
Yeah, here.
Okay. Yeah.
Right next to Sheldon. Yeah. I mean, didn't really stand out, I think, over the entire cast preview. Kyle, I think, again, unique look and was pretty engaging in the video. I think he could do all right with the votes.
Have either of you watched AU2, AU Season 2 Survivor? Taran, you have?
Survivor Australia Season 2. That's the one with Luke and...
Yeah.
Yes.
Kyle kind of looks like AK, no? Do you see that? Yeah.
Kyle kind of looks like who?
AK.
Okay. I don't know.
But
who
like
that is,
much
but I'll
bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Vanessa, I think, again, she's the one from Prince Edward Island, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, because she's the lobster lady. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think she might get just enough to squeeze by from that alone, maybe. And she also, is like, there are like three kind of like pretty young looking women, or four pretty young looking women that all have like similar hair color. Mm-hmm. And again, I think photos really matter, and I think she's the one that sticks out the most with like the curly hair and the very bright hair. So it's easier to remember her versus some of the others. Nico, I'm not sure he stands out too much, and then Madeline, I think, could also be in some danger. So I think Madeline, Nico, Suzanne, Sheldon are probably in the most danger for the votes. I think Carol and Luke and maybe Angie might also have some trouble. And then in terms of like, I don't know what happens from there. What does it mean that they're in danger? Do they have to compete to save themselves? Is it going to be some kind of vote? If it's competition, then I would imagine the lesser physical presence will be in some danger.
So I was going to say, like, the website said that the person will be in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also heard that this season is a supersized season, and we haven't really gotten much more from that other than the fact that it was confirmed that there are 2 extra weeks now. So I think it could be, I'm going to put a theory out there, that it could be that the person who is voted to be in danger, the reason they didn't use the word evicted is because they'll have an opportunity to save themselves and maybe no one goes home. Maybe that could be, which I know that would make Taran very happy.
It would be interesting. I mean, I don't know if they do a vote and then don't have anything happen from it, but I guess they've left that as an
that's
opportunity
fair.
before,
Yeah, you're
but
right. That's true.
But yeah, interesting. Well, we will definitely get into some cast preview draft podcast at some point. I'm sure we'll talk about when we're going to schedule that. But we'll make that happen. And then Wednesday premiere.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, it's all coming together. Puya, who's your favorite overall?
Sheldon. Let's say Sheldon for now. Sheldon.
There you go. All right. Well, I need to go now. It's been a while.
Okay.
Long
sounds
stream.
Good. I love Jamar and Minley, Chris. Oh my God, like yeah,
everybody.
I'm very optimistic about this cast. I'm very optimistic.
Me too.
Looking forward to watching the Ica interviews. We'll have more detailed analysis and predictions for you in the podcasts to come. So look out for that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for these 3 hours now. It's been fun, and there will be a lot more streams and podcasts and all of the good stuff coming your way. Dippin' Dots, thank you one more time for the 22 months as a Robot Army captain. All coming together. Love it. Okay, thank you guys so much, and I will see you